Okay, fine. You want it, you got it. Let's do this. Another day of news, headlines, trending topics, all the things that are running around out there as far as, the internets and people, what they're talking about. That's what this show is. Welcome into High Noon. High Noon each and every day, Monday through Friday. My name is Pugs Moran. I do this for you. That's right. Actually, I do it because I'm a narcissist who just can't have the idea out there that my thoughts aren't being heard by whoever tunes in. That's what I like to do. Hot takes. I just run through all the things the people are talking about, and I say, this is what they're talking about. This is what I think. Moving on. It's quick. It's fast. Sometimes it gets bogged down. Sometimes I get triggered. Sometimes I go off on a rant. Just bear with me when that happens. Hold your breath. It'll be past. I'll move on to something new. We don't spend all that much time on any one subject. We try to give you a nice little cheat sheet for your day. It's the first of two streams that I do. I do this one Monday through Friday at high noon every day. And then I do something called Pillow Talk, which is myself and James Parker. It's Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. Cup of coffee here. What's up, Adam? Adam has been missing the last couple of days. I worry when I don't see, the anchors of the chat room, of which I consider Adam to be one. Byron is another anchor. Jeff Glenn, of course, another anchor. We've got multiple Leslies. We've been operating at 50% Leslie capacity in the chat room. But missing Leslie, who I have deemed the queen of the chat room, she's fine. She is really, those who said that she just has a whole bunch of stuff going on, you're absolutely right. So leave her alone. I will stop chiding her. I wasn't chiding her. I was just actually concerned. I think about this all the time because I don't have a lot of people that I am friendly with in real life. I mean, I don't have a lot of IRL people. I got my kid. I got my Emil. I got my mom. I got my Aaron. I got my Ed. That's basically it. We can stop it right there. That's it. Those are like the people that I have in real life. Everybody else that I rely on for, daily give and take and, just to know that I'm a human being and there are other human beings out there. Those are all virtual friends. Those are all people on Facebook, on Twitter, stuff like that. People here. Hi, April. April's here. April's also wonderful. And I always think, I'm like, what happens if like, because you don't know them in real life, terrible things, and I'm not putting terrible things happen to people all the time and they just disappear. And if you work with them, because they don't show up to work anymore. And then, or if you, if you hang out with them, they're your friend, because you get invited to the funeral or whatever. But with this whole virtual friendship kind of thing, when people disappear, I get anxious. I start to get really anxious. So anyway, we are operating at a 50% Leslie clip, and that's fine because, this is a stupid thing. You cannot be expected to be tuning into this every day, streaming, clicking on, I don't know whatever the vernacular of the age is. I'm not sure, but it's so thank you. I felt very good when I finally made contact with the missing Leslie. That was very good. Byron, she unfriended you. No, she didn't. No, she did not. That would have crushed my soul. Queen of the chat room unfriending me. That's not something. There's Mama Beller. There's the other 50% of the Leslies. Leslie's here. We got all the people here. All right, good. That's fine. Let's get into what today is all about. I struggled for the first 90 minutes of putting this show together this morning. I struggled. There was there was nothing. I don't know that there was nothing to talk about or if it was just that there was nothing that interested me, because that's a big part of this. I try to adhere to the rule that I set forth for myself in putting this show together, which was if other people are talking about it, then this is what other people are talking about. But man, sometimes, like, I have exceptions. Like, I do not get it. Twitter sucks. Twitter is terrible for trends. I mean, I look at Twitter last because it's all Korean boy bands and wrestling. That's pretty much all Twitter is. But then, as I've said, we're in a really rough week for news because we've got baseball trades happening left and right, and I don't want to get bogged down in that. This isn't a sports show. We've got football free agency. I don't want to get bogged down in that because this isn't a sports show. We've got the NCAA tournament, which although we're in a lull now, we're in a lull until at least Friday, I think. So, there's a lot of stuff that I'm just skipping over. I'm like, nope, not going to talk about, nope. Not going to talk about North Carolina. Nope. Not going to talk about Gonzaga. No, it's nope. Not going to talk about Matt Ryan. Although then I ended up talking about Matt Ryan yesterday because that was actually kind of a landscape shifting deal there in the NFL. But no, I'm not going to talk about the latest offensive lineman that the New York Giants have acquired. Who cares? Who cares? Certainly none of us. All right, so let's get into what today is. We like to start there are things to talk about. As I said, it took me about 90 minutes to find my stride. But then finally I found oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. I found things that are actually interesting. And we're also going to cover the things that I'm not all that jazzed about. Jazzed? You said jazzed. I did. That just came out. Wasn't even there. Wasn't locked and loaded. Wasn't a word that I have in my extended vernacular. It just kind of came out. Came out of nowhere. Somebody put it there. I have no idea who. So we will get into all of those topics. But first, we'd like to tell you all you need to know about this day. This day is March the 22nd, year of our Lord 2022. It is the 81st day of the year. There are 284 days remaining until the end of the year. Why do you do that? Do what? Why do you pretend that you're doing the math on how many days there are left in the year? You do that every day. Why? You have it written down. Why do you pretend? I don't know. Because I'm insecure. Because I want you to think I'm good with numbers. All right. Just keeping you honest. Thank you. That's schizophrenic me. Schizophrenic me is the other voice in my head that usually I keep quiet, but for the purpose of doing this show, I don't have anybody to talk to, so I let schizophrenic me out. And he calls me out on everything. You people think you dislike me. Nobody dislikes me more than schizophrenic me. He is constantly telling me how awful I am. You're all right. Yeah. Thank you, schizophrenic me. All right, on this day, what is today? Today is the National Day of, we do this every day just so that we can commemorate the day properly. Let's see what is happening today. Today is American Diabetes Association Alert Day. Or are you from the Wilford Brimley School and do you pronounce it diabetes? It's American Diabetes Association Alert Day. That diabetes, that's there's two kinds of that, right? There's like the kind that you're born to and that you have no control over, and that's like pretty rough. That's a bad one that you get because you have no control. And then there's the kind you get from drinking a 2 liter of soda every day for 50 years, right? There's like two kinds of diabetes. It's American Diabetes Association Alert Day. It's National 3D Day. Isn't every day in 3D? Isn't that every day? I'm looking here. Well, I guess you're not. You're watching in 2D. Byron says jazzed wasn't locked and loaded, but the defense of saying it was. Well, no, it's not. I have defense forces in my head that anytime I say something that schizophrenic me deems to be pretentious or corny, yeah, they're locked and loaded. They're like an assault squad that sit up there. And they so I guess you could say they are locked and loaded. They are always ready to do the heavy lifting that schizophrenic me can't do. National 3D Day. I don't know what that is. 3D films are like not a thing, right? They're stupid. We've all agreed that 3D films are stupid. You wear the dumb glasses and they hardly ever work, and then they make people cross-eyed. National 3D Day celebrates the art, science, and history of stereoscopic 3D. Every year in March, on the third day of the third week of the third month, we explore the technologies used to create 3D photographs, movies, and art. I don't care. See what happens? I start getting into something like, I don't care. I don't care about that. You don't care about that. If I don't care about that, you probably don't. It's National Agriculture Day. National Agriculture. So there you go. Go eat a bale of hay. Go eat some wheat. It's National Bavarian Crepes Day. That's very specific. That's a very specific day. I don't know what crepes are. I don't know what crepes are, but I do the the bulk. Well, I do the bulk of my cooking in a microwave, and I'm eating a lot of eggs because I'm cutting down on meat and I need my proteins. And I have become I never really knew that you could cook eggs in a microwave. I had no idea. I first of all, I love hard-boiled eggs. I love hard-boiled eggs with a little garlic salt, and then you dump some Tabasco on it. Ah, that's fantastic. I can eat 10 of those. That's why you're fat. Thank you. Yes, it is. I limit myself to 2, but you know what I'm saying. I have learned that why don't more people cook eggs in a microwave? You can cook fried eggs in a microwave. You can cook poached eggs in a microwave. I know it's crepes day, but I got nothing to say on crepes. You can cook. I learned how to make the perfect hard-boiled egg in a microwave. It's perfect. It peels nicely. It's cooked. Oh my God. Poached eggs. I learned how to make the most amazing poached eggs in a microwave. And fried eggs. You can cook fried eggs in a microwave. It's crazy. You got to take a little pin and you got to prick the top of the yolk, before you fry it in the microwave. You got to be very delicate here because if you prick it too much, it'll all run out. If you just prick with a pin the very top of the yolk, and then you put it on a microwave-safe dish, and you line the dish with a little butter. You love a little butter, maybe a little oil, depending on how you're doing it. You put a little of that in there, and then you put it in the microwave for a minute, and it makes like the best fried eggs. Why do you got to poke the egg? Well, if you don't poke the yolk, it'll go, and it'll just explode all over the microwave, and that ain't good. That ain't good. You can make I don't understand. I love eggs. I like eggs. I'm an egg guy. I don't get why I'm just discovering this now, like within the last couple of months, that you can cook all of these delicious egg dishes. Scrambled eggs in the microwave are the best scrambled eggs on the planet. All you got to do is I take a mug and I crack 2 eggs in it, and then I whip the eggs, and then maybe I drop some onions in there. Maybe I drop a little seasoning in there, a little salt and pepper, put it in the microwave for like a minute, pull it out, stir it up, put it back in for another minute, stir it up. The best, fluffiest, most delicious scrambled egg. Move on. Nobody cares about your egg cooking methods. I know. Still can't cook meat in a microwave, though. I'm not going to eat microwave meat. I'll eat microwave pork, like ham or something like that, but not meat. I don't know. Microwave steak it's not good. And I'm not going to cook a pork chop in the microwave. What are you, nuts? What do you think? All right. It's also National Goof Off Day. So there you go. Today you have an excuse to goof off, and it's National West Virginia Day. West Virginia. What a political scam West Virginia is. West Virginia being a state is just as offensive to me as North and South Dakota being states, North and South Carolina being states. All these were ways for certain political leanings to gain more influence in the Senate. There's no reason that West Virginia needs 2 Senate votes. There's no reason North and South Dakota combined need 4 votes in the United States Senate. I'll say it again. West Virginia, well, maybe not. We'll just use South Dakota. South Dakota, which has like 15 people in the state, has just as much senatorial pull as California, which has 50 billion people in the state. That's wrong. All right, let's talk about what happened on this day in history. On this day in 1894, the Stanley Cup ice hockey competition is held for the first time in Montreal, Canada. Stanley Cup on this day, 1894. There was just, if you look at the Stanley Cup, I guess they put like a ring on it for every year. So it was probably just a tiny little cup back. Oh, maybe it was just a cup on the top and then the rings go on the bottom. There you go. It was a cup. On this day in 1933, Nazi Germany opens its first concentration camp in Dachau. Shut up, schizophrenic me. I'm not going to shut up. Schizophrenic me, yeah, I'm not going to let you talk. Schizophrenic me wanted to chide me for the upbeat way I just announced that on this day in 1933, Nazi Germany opened its first concentration camp. And I have no defense because it's not like the first word wasn't Nazi. I mean, my entire tone should have been influenced by the word Nazi, but somehow it wasn't. I had a lot of coffee today, so I'm a little bit, 1934, the first Masters tournament is held in Augusta National Golf Club. That's in Georgia. On this day in 1963, the Beatles released their debut album, Please Please Me. 1972, Eisenstadt versus Baird in the United States Supreme Court decides that unmarried persons have the right to possess contraceptives. So wrap your mind around this, modern folk. Before 1972, it was illegal in some places for a single guy to have a condom. Unless you were married. If you were married, oh, go ahead, have all the condoms you want. But if you were single before 1972, you could go to jail for having a condom. Talk about being against safe sex. They didn't even know what safe sex was back then. Eisenstadt versus Baird. The United States Supreme Court on this day in 1972 decides that unmarried persons have the legal right to possess contraceptives. Wow. Oh, God. That's modern times, man. I was a baby then. I was alive. Maybe I wouldn't be single. On this day in 1978, Carl Wallenda of the Flying Wallendas died after falling off a tightrope suspended between two hotels in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I'm sure that there was a Karen in the crowd who wanted her money back, even though, what the hell? Why are you going to this thing? Why are you watching this thing? A guy walking on a tightrope between two buildings. You're going to it because he shouldn't be able to do that. Every logical thought in your mind says that someone walking on a tightrope between two buildings should fall, right? So that's what you're going for because you know that this guy could fall. And he did. And I'm sure that's like, I always go back to the Siegfried and Roy show. Remember the Siegfried and Roy show where Montecourt, the tiger, the Siberian tiger, went after Roy? I think it was Roy. Yeah, and just really, oh my God, how gross. Really just tore Roy apart. People that were at the show lined up to get their money back. They're like, I want my money. You people just saw not only the final Siegfried and Roy show, but you saw the show where the thing happened that everyone thought could. The reason you were so impressed with Siegfried and Roy was because this shouldn't be the case. These tigers shouldn't listen to these people. These tigers should eat these people. That is a fact. That is just that's why it's so amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing that these tigers don't eat these people. And you were at the show where the tiger ate someone. You were at the best, not for Roy and not for the people who loved him and his family, but you were at the most important Siegfried and Roy show of all time, and you want your money back? You think that you got somehow ripped off? Come on. Same for Carl Wallenda. He tried to walk between two buildings in San Juan, Puerto Rico on this day on a tightrope, and he fell. Of course he fell. It's a miracle when they don't fall. That's why it's you people. I think there was a punk band called the Falling Wallendas, which is not in good taste at all. Then why did you say it? It just popped into my head. That's what I do. This is not only a stream of content, it is a stream of consciousness. These are the topics of the day, and I am just riffing on them. We got some birthdays. Born on this day in 1930. Still alive. So he'd be 70, 80, 90, 92 years old today. Pat Robertson, American minister and broadcaster, founded the Christian Broadcast Network. Still alive. God is good. Born on this day in 1931, William Shatner, Billy the Shat, celebrating his birthday. All right, so how old is he? So is he 91? Yeah, he is 91 years old. William Shatner, Captain Kirk, is 91 years old. Do I have a hot take on William Shatner? Not really. I'm not a Star Trek guy, so I don't really have this affinity for, he's such a wonderful. I don't really do that. Denny Lane on Boston Legal, he was good in that. All right, that's like how I know him. He seems incredibly self-involved. He's a very self-involved guy. When he went to space, remember when he went to space over the springtime or whatever, or fall, I think it was, when he went to space with Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' rocket company. He and they interviewed him when he came back from space, and he just talked for like 40 minutes about just nothing. And people were like, okay, all right, that's enough, Bill. All right, Bill, you've been going on and on. That's enough, Bill. So I don't know. He's 91. I guess at 91, if you live to be 91, you can be self-involved. Problem is, I think he was pretty self-involved when he was 21. So, but whatever. William Shatner, still alive. Happy birthday, 91-year-old William Shatner. Born on this day in 1948. Somebody who's important, who I don't know the first thing about, honestly. Andrew Lloyd Webber. He's born in 1948 on this day. English composer and director. Play musicals, not even plays. Like, because I'll go see a play. Oh, I'll watch the shit out of a play. I will watch a play. You know what my favorite thing about going to a play is? This is so strange, but I love it. There's something I love about this. Okay, so when you go to a play, and I guess a musical too, I just don't want I don't want the music. I have no interest. I have no interest in people singing their dialogue, right? I like dialogue, but whenever I go to a play, here's what I like the best about play. This is what's so cool about a play, especially if you have decent seats. If you go to a play, you hear the actors, you can hear their enthusiasm, not in their voice, but in their stomps. Like when an actor enters the stage in a play, you hear something about that. I love that. I'm like, you can hear him stomping around. I don't know why, but get back to Andrew Lloyd Webber. I don't know what he did. What did he do? Did he do Cats? Is that something? That's in there? Cats is in there. I don't know. Phantom of the Opera, maybe. I don't know. Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber. Baron Lloyd Webber. Oh, he's got all the toys from the English government. He's an English composer and impresario of musical theater. What did he do? Several of his songs have been widely recorded and were successful outside of their parent musicals, such as Memory from Cats. I don't know that song. Music of the Night and All I Ask from the Phantom of the Opera. I got those right. I Don't Know How to Love Him from Jesus Christ Superstar. Oh, he's involved in that too. Don't Cry for Me, Argentina from Evita. I know that one. Any Dream Will Do from Joseph and the Amazing. Okay, so he did a whole bunch of stuff that I've never seen. I can't get into musicals. I can't. Don't. Ugh. Musical theater is like the worst. All right. Also born on this day in 1959. I don't know what else this guy did, but Matthew Modine was born on this day in 1959. One of my favorite sports movies of all time. Vision Quest, the high school wrestling movie. He had to wrestle Shoot. Shoot was climbing up Shoot used to practice or train by climbing up the bleachers with a giant tree on his back. Yeah, you ever seen Vision Quest? Lloyd. Was his name Lloyd? Or no, that was Say Anything. I don't know. Matthew Modine played the kid wrestler who was giving his best and trying to be the best, but unfortunately Shoot from another school was in front of him, and he had to beat Shoot. Shoot was good. I won't spoil it for you, but if you've never seen Vision Quest, I love that movie. 1959, born today, Matthew Modine. Does he do anything else? I mean, I guess he appeared in a bunch of other movies, but does he have any other like movies that you can name? I don't know. Matthew Modine. I think Matthew Modine was on Weeds, the show Weeds, the Showtime show Weeds. I think. I don't know. I'm not going to get bogged down in it. Born on this day, excuse me. Born on this day in 1971, Keegan-Michael Key. Now, he's the guy that has been left behind by Jordan Peele. Key and Peele. He got first billing. He got first billing in the Key and Peele show. It was a sketch comedy show. Very funny sketch comedy show. God, they were good. Key and Peele, Keegan-Michael Key. It's his birthday today. Peele is, of course, Jordan Peele, who was his partner in this comedy twosome. And Jordan Peele is like the new Alfred Hitchcock. Jordan Peele has gone from being the other guy in the Key and Peele show to being like one of the most important and critically acclaimed directors of film of the last 10 years. And he doesn't do comedy. Well, I mean, he's a funny guy, so he's got comedy elements in his movies, but his movies are not comedy, which, goes to show that comedians can do drama, but dramatic people can't do comedy. So it doesn't go both ways. So the most talented people out there are the ones who are in comedy. They are the ones who can move over into drama and blow your. Look at Robin Williams. Robin Williams was an amazing dramatic actor. Also comedy. Jordan Peele is another example. Really? It's Keegan-Michael Key's birthday, and you're going to talk about his more successful partner. I am. And I wonder if it bothers Keegan-Michael Key, because Keegan-Michael Key, does he even appear in Jordan Peele movies? Like, does Jordan Peele go, I'm going to throw a bone to my former comedy partner and try and give him a film career? Because the only time I see Keegan-Michael Key in anything, he does a lot of like sitcom appearances and stuff. And he seems like a wonderful guy. I don't have a problem. I love both Key and Peele. I am just saying that when you lay it out in front of you, when you look at the spreadsheet, Jordan Peele is a legit A-list Hollywood important dude right now. And his partner really isn't. So happy birthday to you, less important partner. Keegan-Michael Key, born on this day in 1971. Cole Hauser is born on this day in 1975. I'm a heterosexual man, but I got to tell you, the character of Rip in Yellowstone, I can see it. When I watch Rip on Yellowstone, is it Rip? It's Rip. Is it Rip? I gotta make sure, because I always get it wrong. Like, is it Tag? No, it's Rip, right? Who does he play? Rip Wheeler. That's it. He's Rip Wheeler on Paramount. As I was saying, I'm a heterosexual man. And, I don't think that I could be homosexual, because I just don't think the stuff works that way. I don't think that my body would agree, But when I see Rip Wheeler on Yellowstone, I'll put it this way. I get it. Rip Wheeler is a man's man. He's a murderer. But he's also a good man. He's a murderer who's also a good man. I don't know. It's complicated. But if you don't watch Yellowstone, you don't get it. Here's the thing about him, though. He like, you want to believe that, like, Cole Hauser, the guy who where is it? Yeah, you want to believe that he's like this, like, tough Western guy. He's not. He's like, he's born into like Hollywood royalty, like his family. Here, early life. Kenneth Cole Hauser was born on March 22nd, 1975 in Santa Barbara, California, the son of Cass Warner, who founded the film production company Warner Sisters. Oh, okay. All right. That's what it is. His mom is a Warner from Warner Brothers. Like, his grandpa was one of the Warner Brothers. So he grew up like this, like, fancy Hollywood kid, and now he plays this rough rogue cowboy rodeo dude on Yellowstone, and you think he's born to that role, but he's not. He's like a silver spoon. His mom founded Warner Sisters, which was a production company that was an offshoot of her family's Warner Brothers. Let's see here. The son of Cass Warner, who founded the film production company Warner Sisters, and actor Wings Hauser. So his dad was an actor. His paternal grandfather was Academy Award-winning screenwriter Dwight Hauser. One of Cole's maternal grandfathers was film rogue Harry Warner, a founding partner of Warner Brothers. I don't care. I still like him. I don't like silver spoon kids, but I like Cole Hauser. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that he comes from the Warner Brothers family. And coming from the Warner Brothers family, when you decide, I want to be an actor, is probably a leg up. But honestly, he's been around for a long time. And it's not like he was the dick in the first place I ever saw him. He was the dickhead in what's that movie? What's the movie? Dazed and Confused. Remember Dazed and Confused? Remember the guys that were Ben Affleck and the other dude that were chasing around the freshman or whatever? Cole Hauser was the dude with the bat, the guy that would always carry the bat. But he didn't have like a big career until Yellowstone. So maybe, the silver spoon didn't help him all that much. Born on this day in 1976, another darling, Reese Witherspoon. Happy birthday, Reese Witherspoon. I got into this debate about a year ago with a friend of mine. He said that he was hot for Reese Witherspoon, that he found her very attractive. And I didn't push back on that because I can look at her and I can see she's blonde. She's got a pretty smile. She's a pretty girl. She's, But I have never thought of Reese Witherspoon in a sexual way. She seems very... You know what she's like to me? She's like Sally Field to me. Like I've never seen Sally Field and gone, like people think Sally Field is hot. I'm like, well, older dudes, but I'm like, yeah, I don't see it. She seems wonderful. Sally Field seems wonderful, but I have never sexualized her, and I've never sexualized Reese Witherspoon. I just don't see it. Even though it checks all that, she's blonde, she's pretty, she seems delightful, she seems like a lovely woman. I just don't see her, as sexy. So whatever. But happy birthday to you, Reese Witherspoon. Somebody does. My friend, Bill. Also born on this day in 1989, American football player, J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt. Man, how old is he? He's 20, 30, 31, 32, 33. He's 33 years old today. J.J. Watt to me seems like he's been playing pro football for decades. And he's only 33 years old. Oh, there's the dog. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of deaths here. These are interesting deaths. I don't know how, whether you believe in God or not, these things do make you wonder. So we got two legendary animators and a living cartoon who died today. That's the best way I could put. Walter Lantz died on this day in 1994. Walter Lantz created a whole bunch of cartoons and stuff. He director, animator, producer. Walter Lantz created Woody Woodpecker. I loved Woody Woodpecker as a kid. And I loved Bugs Bunny as a kid. You know why? Because they were troublemakers. And they never had to pay for their crimes. Half of the bad stuff that happened in Woody Woodpecker cartoons were instigated by Woody Woodpecker. And he just always got away with it. And I always kind of appreciated that about Woody Woodpecker. Walter Lantz, great American animator, died on this day. Died on 1994. Died on this day in 2001. The second great animator, William Hanna of Hanna-Barbera, American animator, director, producer, and voice actor, co-founded Hanna-Barbera. He died in 2001. Hanna-Barbera. What Hanna-Barbera? They do like the Flintstones and stuff like that. Like Hanna-Barbera is big. they all blend together. I know Bugs Bunny is Warner Brothers. I know. Hanna-Barbera, they also do like the Jetsons and Flintstones? I don't know. Let me see. If they did, then yeah. Yeah, look at that. Okay. All right. So Hanna-Barbera, which became the most successful television animation studio in the business, creating or producing programs such as the Flintstones, Huckleberry Hound, the Jetsons, Scooby-Doo, the Smurfs, Yogi Bear. All right. Very cool. Tom and Jerry. Okay. Yeah. He's a big dude. William Hanna and Walter Lantz, two great American animators, died on this day. One in 94, Walter Lantz, and 2001, William Hanna. Now for the living cartoon who died on this day. In 2016, the living cartoon and former mayor of Toronto, Rob Ford, died. You remember Rob Ford? Remember he had his minute. He was the talk of the globe because was he a crack smoking? Wasn't he caught on tape like Marion Barry smoking the crack with a bunch of constituents, trying to get their votes? I'm cool. He was like a drunk. He was a crackhead. You guys hear the dog? The dog's going to make me bring her in. One more barking. We got to bring her in. Well, you're not just going to sit there. There it is. Okay, so I'll be right back. I got to let the dog in. You know how this works. This only takes like 30 seconds. If that. It'll be less than 30 seconds. I really don't have much more to say about Rob Ford anyway. Google him. Get in here, dummy. Get in here right now. Hey, let's go. Come on. Let's go. Well, that was all for nothing. Our like super rich neighbors are having like a, I don't know, an indoor bowling alley built or something. I don't know. They're on the other side of the fence. They're doing some construction, and the dog is just letting the construction workers know, "Don't come in my yard. Don't come in." They ain't gonna come in your yard, CeeLo. They have no interest in your yard. All right, Rob Ford. Those are the deaths. Walter Lantz, William Hanna, and Rob Ford. 2 animators and a cartoon died on this day. Let's see here. All right, let's get into what's trending today. Let's see. The top thing that's trending everywhere is Supreme Court / Ketanji Brown Jackson. This is the second day of her sitting in front of senators. Caught a little of her talking to Lindsey Graham, which that dude, whatever. Day 2. I got nothing else to say on that. Round Rock is trending. Round Rock, Texas is trending. Apparently, we had a bunch of tornadoes last night. Nothing really significant here in my universe. So, you know, it's not really a big story here. But apparently, Round Rock got hit by some tornadoes. Round Rock families in central Texas are waking up and assessing the damage left behind after tornadoes touched down in several areas. Pictures are not fun. Pictures are... It's and now today, so today it's kind of cold, right? I mean, we got like it's let's see what the temperature is right now here. It's still gray, it's still overcast. Okay, it says it's gonna tell me here in a minute. It says it's 63 degree. No. It's gotta be colder than that. Oh, really? Yeah, I'll give you weather. Why not? I'll give you weather. All right. 63 degrees. It is 63 degrees now. It's a little chilly outside. That's why I'm wearing this. I had the air conditioning on yesterday. I forgot to turn it off. And I was like, man, it's cold in here. It must be cold outside. No, dummy, you got the air conditioning on. All right. Let's see here. Several tornadoes touched down in the area of Round Rock and in central Texas. One of the hardest hit places was in Williams County, the Round Rock area, where many homes and businesses were significantly damaged by the storm. There are resources available for those in need. All right. That's good. I'm glad there are resources. On the Southwest Trail in one Round Rock neighborhood, close to 100 homes were damaged. Some homes had entire roofs ripped off, and living rooms were filled with glass from broken windows. All right. No major injuries have been reported. So there you go. That's good. So Round Rock took the brunt of all those crazy storms we had last night here in the Central and North Texas, although I guess it was all over Texas. It was just bad. Houston, because Houston is also affected. Houston is trending right now. It says here that thousands of Houston area CenterPoint Energy customers are without power. This is due to the storms that passed through yesterday. We have any storms coming through today? It says about 1 p.m. It says we're going to get some more rain. It's not saying anything terrible. All right, there you go. So Houston and Round Rock, there you go. A little something for our Texas people here. Houston. Okay. Oh, Miami Beach is trending. This is Miami Beach is trending alongside spring break because what's that noise? I'm hearing like a ringing. Jennifer says, I think you overstated the temp. It's only 48 degrees in Bonham. All right. Well, it says this was updated at 12:41 p.m. and it says it's 63 degrees. Hold on. I'm going to try and be accurate. Let me check a second temperature. What are we looking at here? Let's see what these people say. So AccuWeather on my phone says it's 63. And yeah, look at this, 49 degrees. You're right. It says 49 degrees and cloudy right now, according to this one. So since Jennifer says it's 48 where she is, this computer tells me it's 49 and my phone says it's 63. I'm going to go with the 40s. It is cold outside. That's for damn sure. 40s. My God. It's supposed to be jet ski weather by now. What is happening? That's okay. It'll probably be 80 come the weekend. Miami Beach is, they have declared, not a state of emergency. What is it? Well, let's find out. The city of Miami Beach, which is not the city of Miami. They're two separate things. There's the city of Miami, and then there's Miami Beach. The city of Miami Beach officials have declared a state of emergency. They did declare a state of emergency on Monday, and an upcoming curfew, bidding to curb violent incidents at spring break that saw 5 people wounded in 2 separate shootings. Miami Beach Mayor Dan Gelber and City Manager Alina Hudak announced the emergency order at an afternoon news conference. It includes a curfew for the South Beach area that starts early Thursday after midnight and runs through the weekend. So basically, Miami Beach got a whole bunch of people down there for spring break, you know, and it's not family fun. This is like crazy spring break, you know. And, you know, spring break used to just be like alcohol poisoning deaths, maybe some like drug overdoses, maybe somebody falls from a balcony, you know, because they're drunk or something like that. That used to be like the big problems at spring. Fights, and a couple frat dudes would get into a fight and it spills over in a parking lot and then suddenly it's like an all-out brawl. Those were like the spring breaks hijinks, criminal hijinks that, you know, we're used to. But apparently in the last couple of years, Miami Beach is like, everybody's bringing guns now. Everybody's showing up to spring break strapped. And there's a bunch of gunplay happening. The city commission will hold an emergency meeting on Tuesday to discuss the declaration. Hudak said she plans to recommend the curfew be extended through next weekend. Thousands of college students and other young people gather annually in Miami Beach for spring break. And this is the second year in a row that officials for the South Florida city have declared a state of emergency in this famed partying spot. Mayor said about 100 guns have been seized you can't party without guns, have been seized over the past 4 weeks, and several police officers have been injured while controlling the massive crowds. We can't endure this anymore. We just simply can't, Mayor Gelbart said. This isn't your father or your mother's spring break. This is something wholly different. Gelbart noted that the 5 people who were shot over the weekend, despite the fact that 371 officers were deployed, 3 of them were wounded early Sunday on a street crowded with spring breakers in the city's South Beach neighborhood. 2 victims wounded at the scene were taken to a hospital while doctors are... Okay, so, you know, that's 5 people shot over the weekend. And you're declaring a national or a state of emergency. Man. Honestly, I'm from the south side of Chicago. That's a slow weekend. That is a slow weekend on the south side of Chicago. But Miami Beach trending for that reason. They've declared a state of emergency because you spring breakers, what, bikini contests and the keg stands, and you know that's not enough for you. Now you got to just start shooting. I don't get it. I don't get the whole gun thing. I don't understand why you need to take a gun to spring break. I don't get it. I don't get it. New World Order is trending. New World Order is trending. Oh my God. Look. Oh. I do not think that Joe Biden is nearly as bad as his political opposition tries to frame him. But he ain't the best guy for the job. He ain't. He gets up on stage and he says New World Order, and he's not tuned in enough to know what that's going to mean to like the crazy conspiracy people who are out there. I mean, New World Order is an actual phrase that means something. And then there's the meaning of that phrase that's been hijacked for the past decade or so by lunatics. And, you know, the lunatics are a lot louder than the way that phrase is intended to be used. The lunatics spread the crazy meaning of that word far and wide. The average person hears New World Order and they think it's a bad thing. They don't understand that what it means is it's a phrase that has been used to describe the fall of the Soviet Union, to describe the new order of things with the absence of a communist superpower in Europe. That's the origin of the phrase. However, there are so many moving parts. The phrase New World Order is not a tic-tac-toe board. It's not simple. It's more of like a Rube Goldberg machine of gears and wheels and you know, bullshit pieces that don't do anything. It's complicated. It is so if you're truly trying to understand what the geopolitical term New World Order means, you really got to dive into stuff that's going to give you tired head. You're gonna be like, oh God, I got to look up every other word. I don't know. I mean, I do. But it's complicated. So whenever something is too complicated for you and me and the average person who doesn't like think too hard about stuff, doesn't really affect whether or not we can pay our rent, we look for the simplest explanation. And God forbid, there's always somebody, there's always some crazy person who is looking to boil it down to its most reductive and simplistic meaning. So when Joe Biden gets up and starts talking about a new world order, most people are not thinking of that phrase in the intended geopolitical sense. They think of it as, oh, you mean all the Hollywood pedophiles who are running the world secretly? That's where they go. That's where they go. And why is it Hollywood? Why is it always Hollywood pedophiles? Why is it always like rich people in Hollywood? Because the average person doesn't know about the people who run Bundesbank in Germany, right? They don't know about the people who are really the power brokers and the multi-billionaires who influence all of these policies globally. They don't know about these people. They can't rattle their names off the top of their head, but they know who Tom Hanks is. And let's see, we don't really have anything bad on Tom Hanks because he always plays such a nice guy. How do we circumvent the idea that most people see Tom Hanks in all these nice movies and make him seem like an evil guy who's trying to rule the world and make your kids gay? Well, let's say he produces pornography in his garage, child pornography no less, in his garage. So that's like the stupid people way. So Biden said New World Order, and this is what I mean. We can't have. How did he not know? How did he not know that using that turn of phrase in 2022 wasn't going to blow back on him and make him seem like the reptile alien overlord that people want to make him out to be? God, he's stupid. And you just know that like his people were standing off stage when he said that. And they just went, oh, they rolled their eyes. They went, oh my God. Jen Psaki's like, oh God, now I got to deal with Peter Ducey in the press room. Oh my God. So dumb. He makes these avoidable mistakes all the time. And the last guy made all kinds of avoidable mistakes all the time. But you see, the last guy, every other thing he said was an avoidable mistake. So we just became overwhelmed with avoidable mistakes, and that canceled them all out. And we were just like, yeah. This guy, Biden, he makes sense about, 6 out of 10 things he says. And then the other 4, you can sink your teeth into those 4. You can go, oh, he said this, and he said this, and he said this. Oh, God. Claims about the existence and implementation of a new world order have spread online. Of course they have, after President Joe Biden used the phrase in a speech. While the phrase New World Order is generally used to denote a significant geopolitical change, it can also designate a conspiracy theory that stipulates a secretive globalist authority is seeking to control the world under a totalitarian regime and strip sovereign countries and its citizens of their freedoms. All of this stuff about evil overlords and all of this stuff about, well, this is the Hollywood gays and this is, the trans people and this is, the billionaires that want to get rid of gender. Yeah, no, that's not what it is. This is just all about the people in this world, in this global society who have the money versus the people who don't. We're the people who don't. We are the people who don't. We don't understand how these people can have all this money. And so we create these crazy fictionalized backstories. It's simply about people who have money can influence what they can get whatever they want because their money allows them influence. That's what it is. It's not secretive. It's not secretive. I mean, these groups, these billionaire groups meet every year. We know where they meet. They meet they meet in Europe and they meet in the Pacific Northwest and they get together and they talk about how their power can influence the globe. And a lot of times the stuff that leaks out is, well, they want to make the world a better place. And also they want to stay really wealthy and really powerful. But it's not about all of these crazy QAnon things. It's not about child pornography. It's not about turning your kids gay. It's not. It's just not. And you're being stupid when you believe that stuff. It's about people with money getting what they want. Now who's being reductive? Well, that's an effective use of reduction in complicated issues. I stand by that. Several conservatives and conspiracy theorists, include followers of the radical QAnon movement, quickly jumped on Biden using the words while speaking at Business Roundtable's CEO's quarterly meeting in Washington, D.C. See, that's one of those places. That's one of these things where these people get together, these powerful people. During the speech, Biden described how there is significant opportunities to make some real changes with regard to how the world reacts to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, adding that it was currently at an inflection point that occurs every few generations. As one of the top military people said to me, there's a quote now from Biden. He's probably freelancing. Totally went off script. You got to keep this guy on script. As one of the top military people said to me in secure meeting the other day, 60 million people died between 1900 and 1946. And since then, we've established a liberal world order. And that hadn't happened in a long time, Biden said. A lot of people dying, but nowhere near the chaos. And now is the time when things are shifting. There is going to be a new world order, Biden said. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, and by the way, when he says we've established a liberal world order, that again, you hear that and you're like, yeah, like the liberals, like the lefties, like transsexual swimmers. No, that is not the use of the word liberal as it pertains to that. This means liberty. This means liberty for all. This means people having a voice. This means power to the people. When it's used in this context, that's what it means. Yes, I know it's confusing because you hate libs, because you hate the left and libs and all that. Liberal means something different now to certain people. Oh my God. Eesh. All right, so we're done with this. We're done with Joe Biden and his stupid fat tongue saying things that he shouldn't be saying because all it does is cause problems. And then, so there you go. New World Order is trending. Andy Warhol is trending. Why? Because his Marilyn Monroe painting, picture, I don't know. I live with a very successful artist, and I don't know. Not live with. It's not like I'm in the guest house. Emil, you guys know I don't know. He lives with a partner who's an artist. I thought as much. No. He has donated the property for me to be able to do this. We're not he's married, for crying out loud. So was Elton John. Oh, just shut up, schizophrenic me. One of Andy Warhol's iconic Marilyn Monroe portraits could become the most expensive 20th century artwork ever to go under the hammer. with auctioneer Christie's expecting bids in the region of $200 million. You remember talking about like the super 1% of global elites who influence everything? Yeah, these are the people who see a stupid picture of Marilyn Monroe done by Andy Warhol and decide that it's worth $200 million. How about that cost $150 and then you take the rest of that 200 million and maybe you help some people with it. Instead, that's not what you're going to do. You're going to hang that in your summer home. And when people come over that you're trying to impress because I don't know, for some reason you've got $50 billion and you're still trying to impress people, whatever, that's on you, so that you can just kind of show off. Hey, look, yeah, that's the Mona Lisa of modern times. The 40 square inch shot Sage Blue Marilyn, one of a dozen of images that the artist made of Monroe in the 1960s, will go on sale in New York this May, the auction house Christie's announced. Warhol's colorful reproductions of the Hollywood star's portrait, they're just reproductions. He didn't even paint it. He just took like a picture of her and then he painted on it. Originally a publicity still from her 1953 movie Niagara, are among his most recognizable works, alongside his signature paintings of Campbell's soup cans. Campbell's soup cans. This is why I don't get Warhol. I don't get him. You know who I get? I get E. I get what he creates and why there is a market for the stuff that he creates, because it's abstract and it's cool. You look at it and you stare at it and you go, what is that? Is that a building? Is that a street scene? And he's like, maybe. He doesn't tell you anything about what it is that he's doing. He's just, but people look at his stuff and go, oh, here's what I see. That's cool. I get that. But there ain't none of his stuff going for $200 million, and it probably never will. Well, knock wood. Well, let's hope. We'll see. But still, I mean, I get that. What I don't get is somebody who looks at a can of, was he sitting at his little painting desk? I mean, easel. I don't know how Warhol did it. Is he sitting in his little thing and he's like, oh, I have no inspiration. And he looked up at a counter and there was a can of Campbell's soup and he went, I'm just going to doodle that. I'm just going to draw that. Here you go, $50 million or whatever the hell that stupid painting's worth. It's a can of soup. I don't get it. Actually, I do get it. It's about rich people trying to show off. And Andy Warhol and all of the fame and all of the money that his estate has reaped in since his death because of all of these paintings, they're just happy casualties. They're just in the wake of a bunch of wealthy people trying to one-up each other. $200 million for a painting of... Now, if you were to... No, first of all, I can't even say that there's a painting on this planet that is worth $200 million. But at least if you were talking about something by Da Vinci, or if you were talking about something by Rembrandt, something that is hundreds of years old, that has stood the test of time, yeah, then I'd go, all right, 200 million. I still think it's ridiculous, but okay, at least you could make a better argument as to why it's so rare and why it's so important, because it's been around forever. This was done in the 60s. This is something from the 1960s. A piece of artwork that didn't exist when my mom was born is now worth $200 million. I just can't wrap my head around that. All right, something I can wrap my head around. Amanda Bynes, we talked about her on the Pillow Talk show a couple of weeks ago, in the hubbub about Britney Spears and her conservatorship and how she was freed from her conservatorship from her parents who had controlled all of her earnings and her life for, the better part of, 10, 15 years in the case of Britney Spears. Well, Amanda Bynes is also the actress, former actress, who I think she's great. Amanda Bynes was a great actress. She was really something. She had something. She had her comic skills were so good. And, she was the rare, pretty young girl who could do belly laugh comedy, who could make you laugh. She was definitely talented, and I thought she was great. And then she had all kinds of problems, and she's now known to have real mental issues. And again, maybe that's why she was so good at doing comedy when other beautiful young 19-year-olds couldn't do belly laugh comedy. But Amanda Bynes could because, she had some things going on that made her see the world and react to the world in a different way. And that's why she stood out. But Amanda Bynes has been under conservatorship from her parents for 9 years because she did a bunch of crazy things. She got hooked on drugs. She started fires. She caused fights. She got all kinds of issues. So for 9 years, she has been under a conservatorship herself. And today, and it may have already happened because this is from a couple of hours ago, today a judge is going to free her. The 35-year-old actress, now Amanda Bynes' conservatorship is expected to be terminated sometime this afternoon. The conservatorship of actress Amanda Bynes she was under for almost 9 years, appears to be coming to an end. A California judge intends to discontinue Bynes' conservatorship on Tuesday, a month after the She's the Man star began pursuing its termination. She's the Man is a good movie. It's a really good movie, and I'll tell you why it's a good movie. It's a good movie because of her, because she is really funny in this movie. I'm not into like these kind of, and again, this is going back, I was in my 30s or whatever, so I wasn't really into like teen, movies or whatever. But I saw this movie and I remember watching this movie and going, okay, you know what? This is okay. First of all, it's a Shakespeare movie, right? It's based on a Shakespeare play. It's just updated. And I'm watching her in it and I'm going, she's good though. She's like this might be what people would consider a disposable teen, romp or whatever. But she's really good in this. She's really funny. She is really acting up a storm. And she's critically acclaimed. I mean, you can pull up her Wikipedia page. Just look at the critical acclaim that she's received. She was like the best actress of all of those that came out around that time, whether it's the Mandy Moores or, the Lindsay Lohans or whatever. Amanda Bynes was the one that the critics were like, yeah, no, she's good. She's got a little something. But then she went crazy and her parents controlled her life and her career went in the toilet and she's never going to act again. She has no interest in that. She's 35 years old. She doesn't look at all anything like the Amanda Bynes from those teen movies. She looks like a girl who's had a lot of trouble these past 15 years or whatever. She's got a tattoo on her face. She's got nose rings. She's got multicolored hair, which is fine. Those are artistic choices. But when you understand that she's had some mental issues and a whole bunch of legal problems due to that, I get why the family swooped in and said, okay, so you're like 20 years old and you've made like $20 million in films. We're just going to take all of this right now because you cannot be trusted not to give all this money to some weird cult. But that's coming to an end. She's 35. She has no intention of going back into show business. Her mother, a California judge, intends to discontinue the conservatorship. The court determines that the conservatorship is no longer required and that grounds for establishment of a conservatorship of the person no longer exists. This is according to Judge Roger L. Lund. Bynes' mother, Lynn, unlike the Britney Spears situation where Britney Spears' parents, and Britney, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. Britney's parents were like, nope, we want to control the money still. We like that we've been controlling the money for the last decade plus. We want to keep controlling the money. She's crazy. Like Britney Spears' parents are garbage. It seems like Amanda Bynes' parents actually did have the best interest of their daughter. Bynes' mother, Lynn, became her conservator in 2013 on a temporary basis following multiple incidents involving the actress, who was accused of setting fires and incidents with police. The arrangement became a full conservatorship the following year. Where is it here? The 35-year-old Bynes filed for her conservatorship to be lifted in February, with an attorney for her mother supporting the move, saying the mother, Lynn, is extremely happy and thrilled and so proud of her daughter. So the mom's not even fine. The mom's like, yeah, she has displayed to me over the past whatever that she seems to be in control of all this. Bynes' lawyer told the outlet on Monday that the actress will not attend Tuesday's hearing. I'm excited for her. She is excited. David A. Esquibius told Variety, "We're all excited and we're all anxiously looking forward to Amanda living a life as a private and normal citizen. She's in school. She's going to the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, Los Angeles. She wants to do that. She wants to just be kind of behind the scenes. She couldn't handle the fame, whatever. She's got her head straight now. So good for her. Amanda Bynes." That's why Amanda Bynes is trending today. Another good for him. Al Michaels is trending. Are you watching this stuff? Al Michaels is trending because the football booths. Oh boy, man, it's been musical chairs in the football booths. Amazon Prime has gained the exclusive rights to Thursday Night Football for the next 11 years. So that means if you like watching Thursday Night Football, you have to have an Amazon Prime account because you're not going to get it unless it's your home team. I believe that's one of the stipulations that, like, if you live here in Dallas and the Dallas Cowboys are playing on Thursday Night Football and you don't have Amazon Prime, it doesn't matter. You're going to be able to, the local TV rights will be given to a local broadcast. So you'll still be able to see it in your home team. But if you're here in Dallas and you want to watch, the Giants play the Panthers, and I don't know why anybody would want to watch that game, but if you wanted to watch the Giants Panthers and you lived in Dallas, you would have to have Amazon Prime to see that game. Let's see who's moved around. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman have moved from Fox over to ESPN's Monday Night Football. There's one. Jim Nantz and Tony Romo are still set at CBS, so that doesn't change. Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth, who had been hosting Sunday Night Football, they've been broken up. Al Michaels is now going to Amazon Prime for a big, giant payday. Mike Tirico, who was doing Monday Night Football, who lost his job because Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are on Monday Night Football, Mike Tirico will now join Chris Collinsworth on NBC's Sunday Night Football. So it's Al Michaels. So Al Michaels has now left Thursday Night Football and is now over at Amazon Prime. Al Michaels, the longtime NFL play-by-play commentator, has signed an agreement with Amazon Prime, according to the New York Post, which will see him leading the streamer's coverage of Thursday Night Football. The Post also claimed that Michaels' broadcast partner will be ESPN's Kirk Herbstreit. Kirk Herbstreit, a guy who, for some reason, my brain works funny this way. Sometimes I think of Kirk Herbstreit as Herb Kirkstreet. I just think that Herb, is it Kirk Herbstreit or Herb Kirkstreet? I don't know. So it's going to be Al Michaels and Herb Kirkstreet or Kirk Herbstreit. I don't know. Michaels has been given a whale of a deal. Now, money hasn't been discussed. There are no numbers that have been put out there yet. They will. They'll come. But leading up to this, they'd all been talking about how Bezos and Amazon was going to make whoever their lead guy is the highest paid guy in football play-by-play. So it's believed he's getting at least what they call Joe Buck money, which is at current Joe Buck with his contract, Joe and Troy. Joe Buck is the highest paid. Michaels has been a sportscaster since the late 60s, most notably providing coverage of ABC Sports for 3 decades and with NBC Sports since 2006. He's best known for his play-by-play work of NFL games, including Monday Night Football, and he has tied the record for calling the most Super Bowls by a broadcaster in history. 11 Super Bowls. The Post reports that he will still call a game or two for NBC. Oh, so he's still allowed to go do NBC. He's going to do NBC playoff games. Amazon snapped up the exclusive rights to Thursday Night Football during the NFL's most recent contract negotiations. Michaels is expected to sign a 3-year contract with Amazon and will be paid, quote, Joe Buck level money. Buck recently signed a 5-year deal with ESPN worth $75 million. So we'll have to just watch that. There you go. That's why Michaels is trending and the dog is now barking. So I'm going to bring the dog in. Apparently the dog is done messing with the workers in the next yard. Get in here. Get in here. Are you muddy? Hold on. All right. Don't jump. Get off of me. Don't jump. No! Get down. Stop it. Oh, you're being a jerk. Make me get the stick. I got the stick. Hey! There you go. Just go lay down. Jerk. She comes in, she jumps all over me. Now she thinks I'm mad at her, which is fine. I mean, I'm not mad at her. I mean, I'm always mad at her, but this is a discipline stick. I don't hit her with the discipline stick. I show it and I spank it on the ground next to her, and she doesn't like the snap, and I don't hit my dog. I yell at my dog. I am mentally cruel to my dog. I tell her how stupid she is and how dumb she looks with her crazy markings. And all right, let's move on. Al Michaels. What else do we have happening here? We've been doing this as the concerts have been coming up, the big summer concerts. Lollapalooza returns to Grant Park in Chicago, July 28th through the 31st. It is a life goal of mine. I want to take my kid to he spent like until I moved back here. He spent like every summer in Chicago. So on occasion, we would be downtown during Lollapalooza. And he was little, he was like 7-8 years old. I want to take him to Lollapalooza. He's going to be 13. Is it weird that like all the concerts that I want to go to now, I want to go with my kid? I don't want to go. Like I used to think about going to concerts, and you'd see people at concerts with their kids, and I'd be like, that would be lame, man. Why would you want to bring a kid to a concert? And like now I got a kid who is really into music, and I'm really into music, and I'm like, that's all. I would so much rather go to a concert with my 13-year-old son. He'll be 13 in a couple months. I would rather go to a concert with him than anybody else. You can go to a concert with a supermodel or your 13-year-old son. I go with my 13-year-old son. We would have more fun. That would be more of an experience. So I want to take him to Lollapalooza. But I also want to take him to the Formula One race in Austin this summer. So I'm thinking, life goals are good, but can only do so much. All right, let's look at what the lineup for this year's Lollapalooza is. I have been to 4 Lollapaloozas. 4, count them out. That's 4 times. I've only been to one Lollapalooza in its current incarnation, which is its permanent home in Grant Park in Chicago every summer. I've only been there once. But back in I went to the original Lollapalooza with Jane's Addiction, and then I went to a couple of the following Lollapaloozas. One, I went, 2 actually, I was working at the alternative rock station. So I have a fondness for Lollapalooza. Lollapalooza in my mind is like the original, I guess Woodstock would be the original. But Lollapalooza was like the one that, I don't know, if I'm Gen X, if you're Gen X, Lollapalooza is like the thing. And it's always been cool. I just love it. I used to like Jane's Addiction. It was something that they started, and it was all about bands that weren't getting radio airplay. And all right, so let's see here. July the 28th through the 31st, Grant Park, Chicago, Illinois, Lollapalooza. Headliners for this year's Lollapalooza. Are you ready? Metallica. I would go see Metallica. I would go. My kid and I, we would love to see Metallica because I'm not much of a headbanger, but he's a headbanger, so we would enjoy Metallica. Dua Lipa. I don't know. I mean, I know who she is, and I know what she looks like and all that kind of stuff, but I couldn't tell you a Dua Lipa song. I have no idea. J. Cole. Isn't he a shoe designer? I don't know who J. Cole is. Green Day. I would totally go see Green Day. Doja Cat. Not a clue. Machine Gun Kelly. Oh, I hate this guy. Lil Baby. I don't know who Lil Baby is. Although I bet you my son is probably a big Lil Baby fan. That sounds like somebody like, Dad, did you hear the new Lil Baby song? No, son. I did not hear the new Lil Baby song. Do you want to hear the new Lil Baby song, Dad? Yes, because I'm going to make you listen to some Tom Petty later. So yes, I will listen to a Lil Baby song. Just remember that I sat here and listened to Lil Baby when I asked you to listen to Damn the Torpedoes. Okay? There you go. And Kygo, Kygo. It sounds like a radio station in Denver, but Metallica, Dua Lipa, J. Cole, Green Day, Doja Cat, Machine Gun Kelly, Lil Baby, and Kygo. Those are the big headliners. Then there's a whole bunch of bands. This is the thing about Lollapalooza. There's multiple stages. It goes over multiple days. There's like 100 and something bands that are playing. And some of these I have no idea. So I will just run through some of them. Glass Animals, never heard of them. Billy Strings, never heard of them. Big Sean, heard of him. Kid Leroy, never heard of him. Jasmine Sullivan, no clue. Don Tolliver, Charlie XCS, yeah, only because I watched Saturday Night Live and she's been a guest on there for like twice now. Idols, no idea. Turnstile, no idea. Cascade, no idea. Rez, no. Zoo, no. YG, no. Dominic Fike, no. King Princess, no. Wallows, no. Still Woozy, no. 100 Gex, no. Girl in Red, no. Seriously, Black Coffee, Duke Dumont, Polo and Pan. Oh my God, am I old? And then they get smaller and smaller. And I don't know any of these people. Let me see if there's like some throwback bands. Jane's Addiction. It's a special guest, Jane's Addiction. So that'll be cool. Jane's Addiction returning to the concert that they created. That'll be cool. Beach Bunny, Jax Jones. Nope. Never heard of any of these. Never heard. All right, here are the last ones. These are the last bands. El Hay, Trella, Meet Me at the Altar, Mills, Sam Austins, Willie Jones, Danny Lux, and Bucky Cheds. I skipped over like 50 because, does anybody know who the Crawlers or Nico Rubio are or the Black Stars? I don't know what that is. Jackie Hay, Low Cut Connie. Now let's just see if we can find any good names here. Yeah, I don't care. Zookeeper. Stellar. Young Franco. Buffalo Nichols. Dylan Rosie. Jesse Joe Stark. Taipei Houston. Binky. India Sean. Okay, there you go. That's fine. Lollapalooza, July 28th through the 31st. Grant Park, Chicago, downtown. I watched last year's on the live stream. They did a really cool live stream. I thought that was fun. Again, the main acts are Metallica, Dua Lipa, J. Cole, Green Day, Doja Cat, Machine Gun Kelly, Lil Baby, and Kygo, Kygo, with special, not playing with Kygo, but another band that's going to be a headliner is Jane's Addiction. So there you go. All right, Lollapalooza. Adam Reina says, Beach Bunny is great. They sold out their last 2 shows here, Dada and Trees, but they're having issues selling out the factory. Musically, I like him okay, but he's got a few bad issues. I'm surprised Lil Baby isn't canceled. Dude sucks. You should take him to Lollapalooza in Brazil, ironically. Yeah, no. I'm going to take him to Lollapalooza where we can crash at Grandma's. Grandma doesn't live in Brazil. But I would, hey, look, a winning lotto ticket could change everything, Adam. But again, I don't want to take my kid out of the country. It's not something I'm interested in. All right, also trending today, Phil Mickelson is trending. Phil Mickelson, we haven't heard anything about him in a couple of weeks since he basically said some terrible things and PGA's all mad at him. Phil Mickelson is trending alongside the Masters because he is going to be skipping the Masters for the first time in 28 years. Golf legend Phil Mickelson will skip the Masters tournament for the first time in 28 years. You just said that. I know. After he expressed support for a Saudi-funded golf league, Mickelson was widely condemned last month after he said that he could look past the human rights abuses by the Saudi regime, including the killing of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi, as U.S. intelligence officials alleged. He could look past it if it meant reforming the PGA Tour, which puts on the U.S. major golf tournaments. Quoting Mickelson now, he said, "They execute people over there for being gay. Knowing all of this, why would I even consider it? Because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to reshape how the PGA Tour operates. They've been able to get by manipulating, coercing, strong-arm tactics because we, the multi-$100 million players, had no recourse." I added the $100 million players. He said in an interview. So basically, this is why everybody thinks Phil Mickelson is a piece of shit, because he openly acknowledged that there are all kinds of terrible human rights concerns about throwing in with this Saudi group trying to create a competitor league to the PGA. He admits they're terrible people. They are the devil. They are awful. But I'm a super rich white guy, and this is going to make my life even better. So, whatever. They execute gays, they killed Khashoggi, whatever. So Phil Mickelson is kind of a morally bankrupt piece of garbage. And because of that, most of the PGA has turned their backs on him. Now, it's not like the PGA is turning their backs on him for the reason that I just stated. The PGA doesn't give a crap that he's a morally bankrupt piece of human garbage. That's not PGA's problem. PGA's problem is that he was revealed to be working with a group that's trying to take down the PGA. So the PGA is just a bunch of other silver spoon rich people going, oh, we also don't really care about the human rights. We care that they're going to try and challenge us for supremacy when it comes to the golf game. It's all garbage people. I hate golf. Oh, do I hate golf? But ironically, I like golf clubs. Not club, like country. I like country clubs. I like country clubs. I would never be a member of a country club, but I have been a guest at a number of country clubs, and I love the people watching. I love the whole vibe of it. I don't want to be in that world, but they're very pretty. I like that you can just order off the menu. If you're like the guest of somebody, you just order and then they bring it, and you don't have to pay for anything because you're the guest of somebody and they get a tab. That's very nice. But again, it's other people paying for shit. So there you go. That's why Phil Mickelson is trending. Tipping is trending. Tipping is trending alongside Nicole Hannah Jones. Now, I don't really know who Nicole Hannah Jones is because I'm a normal person. But if you are one of these far-right MAGA people, you know who Nicole Hannah Jones is because you have been conditioned to hate her. She's apparently, and just reading this on her, she's apparently a former New York Times person who wrote a story and created something. I don't even know what it. I mean, I know what it is. Oh, I only know what this is because weirdos on the far right. And remember, I believe that there are weirdos on the far left. There are weirdos on the far right. The rest of us are somewhere in the middle, just trying to get through all this bullshit that these morons flanking our wings are trying to shove down our throats. 1619 Project. This is a part of the whole critical race theory thing. Ugh. All right. So Nicole Hannah Jones is the person who started this whole thing, right? And she's being slammed on Twitter because she made a tweet where she says that tipping is racist. Oh, my God. Oh, what isn't racist? Look, I'm an open-minded, I'm a centrist, I lean left socially, I just want to be cool with everybody, I don't want to be fighting, I have no hate in my heart unless you're a dick, and then I'll tell you, and there are dicks on the left and there are dicks on the right, but man, you're a middle-aged, fat old white guy. Of course you're tired of everything being racist. How is tipping? I don't look. I have worked. I've preferred in my non-professional life, jobs that I do other than broadcasting or working in media. I don't want to work a drive-through. I don't want to work a shift at a factory for $15 an hour or whatever. No, I would much rather park your car and leave it to tips. I would much rather, bartend and leave it to tips. I'd much rather deliver pizzas and leave my bottom line up to tips because tipping is great. Tipping is something that you do for a service rendered. And a lot of times, you don't have a choice in it, but so what? Then don't go out to eat. But they don't want you back in the kitchen getting your own food. You're not allowed back there. So if you want your food brought to you, you're going to have to tip the person who brings it to you because they're providing a service. But it's not a service that they're allowing me to do. Tough. Get your food carry out. Go home. Get it. They'll bring it to you. They'll put it in a box. You can take it home. You want to sit here? You want to soak up the atmosphere? You're going to have some nice little young girl or young man bring you your food. And by the way, they're getting paid 20 cents an hour or whatever the hell it is because the industry expects you to tip. Well, maybe they should have taken a different job. People who don't tip are the biggest assholes on the planet. There is something so wrong with people who openly fail to recognize how tipping basically fuels the entire leisure economy. That is If you're enjoying your night out, this entire thing is made possible because people are tipping the people who are willing to service you. All right, so let's get into this story and why it's trending. Nicole Hannah-Jones, again, she's started the whole critical race theory thing. She's the author of the 1619 Project. The 1619 Project author and former New York Times writer who believes America was built on racism started a Twitter controversy with the claim that the practice of tipping waiters and waitresses and bartenders, or apparently anyone else whose livelihood depends on an extra 15 to 20% for good service, is racist. Okay, let's figure this out. She says, tipping is a legacy of slavery. And if it's not optional, then it shouldn't be a tip, but simply included in the bill. Hannah-Jones, who tweets under the handle Ida Bay Wells, wrote late Monday. Have you ever stopped to think why we tip? Like why tipping is a practice in the U.S. and almost nowhere else? That is true. Well, look, nothing about her stupid question there is true, other than the fact that tipping is really only a thing in North America, and Canada. That's pretty much it. If you've traveled other places, I think Mexico, if you travel to Mexico, I think tipping is still a thing there because so many American tourists go there that they've just become, used to it. But I know that like in the United Kingdom, tipping isn't a thing. You don't... they don't expect to be bartenders are almost insulted when you tip. Insulted? You're giving them money. Yeah, I know, but it's not. They see tipping as you looking at them like they are basically poor people who need your handouts. And although I'm sure some of them will happily take it, it's not expected and encouraged the way it is here in America. I don't know. But tipping is a legacy of slavery. I don't know what that's about. Hannah-Jones was quick to add that she doesn't stiff the help despite her dubious claims about the practice's origins. She then went on to say on Twitter, "Are y'all reading what I'm writing or nah?" She wrote after the internet reacted to her premise. "I said I tip. I tip well. I tip almost always." What do you mean almost always? I always tip. Unless there is a flagrant reason not to tip. Like the person is just being hostile to you or they're being a jerk or whatever, but even bad service, I tip. If you're in a crowded restaurant and your service is bad, it's because you're in a crowded restaurant. It's because you decided to go when everybody else decided to go. Don't take it out on the kid that is probably working 7, 8, 9 tables, busting their ass for minimum wage to get you your shit. If you're not satisfied with it, send it back. They'll send it back. Oh, and then I gotta wait. This is coming out of your tip. Have you ever heard somebody say that? Oh my God. Anybody who says something like that to a server, and make it quick or it's coming out of your tip, that person deserves to be smacked in the face. A friend of mine, won't say their name, said that once when we were out, and I immediately followed by, "But that's okay because I'm a really good tipper and I'm going to make up for him being cheap." But that's because I worked as a bartender. That's because I worked as a pizza delivery guy. That's because I understand tipping. A final tweet from her hinted that Hannah-Jones' ire at the custom of obliging customers to leave a gratuity may have more to do with her personal experience than with history. Somebody responded to her tweet saying, this is her. "I've said what I have to say about this." She wrote. "I have been truly disrespected at restaurants, ignored, and rudeness." Hannah-Jones found few takers for her theory that tipping is racist, with most ascribing it to restaurant owners seeking to subsidize labor costs or simply incentivize good service. But there were plenty of Twitter users who seemed to agree that social pressure to tip, regardless of the quality of service, is unfair. Oh, I'm sure there was. Anytime I've had this topic of tipping come up on a show that I'm involved in, the assholes come out. Well, I don't like the tip. I don't think, they should have gotten a different job. Oh, shut up. You should have stayed home. You should have stayed home. Or you should have taken your food to go. Good Lord. Tipping is, and you don't have to tip like crazy, but you got to tip something. Have you ever been out with somebody who looked and decided that there was too much of a tip, so they've gone back to the table and they've taken money? Oh God, I saw somebody do that once. They weren't with my party, but they came back. They were next table over, and dude comes back and he takes like a couple of bucks out. That's too much of a tip, and he walks away. Oh, really? You're an asshole. You're an asshole. I'm sure you're going in the parking lot. You're going to be redistributing that tip that you just snicked. That's not going right in your pocket, right? That's not. Hannah Jones authored the 1619 Project for the New York Times in 2019. It posited a view of American history that the year the first slave ships arrived in North America was the true founding of the United States. I have actually read, well, you didn't read the whole thing, but you're familiar with it. Yes, I am. I watched the documentary about the 1619 Project. And she's not a crazy person. She's not wrong in a lot of this stuff. The way that we have extrapolated this whole critical race theory controversy out of it to suit specific political needs, that's kind of gross, I mean, but the fact of the matter is there are things about America's history that are not all that wonderful. And public schools have, for generations now, been avoiding them. And I'm not saying I'm for one side or the other. I am simply saying that there is now a debate going on as to whether or not some of the things America did poorly should or should not be discussed. There is an argument that says, whoa, if it's a mistake, why rehash it? And then the other side says, so that those mistakes are not repeated. You can't just, terrible phrase, because I don't mean this in a racial way, but you can't just whitewash the history of America. America is the greatest and most successful geopolitical experiment that the world has ever known. Not since the ancient days of Greece has an idea, a concept for how a society can self-govern been so successful. But it's not like 100% perfect. We've screwed up. We've made some big mistakes. And I think that we need to talk. I think that people need to be reminded, oh, now you are taking a side. No, I am not taking a side. I am simply saying that to sweep the things we've done wrong over the generations under the rug does no one a service. It doesn't do the next generation a service. And it doesn't make people hate America. I don't think it may. Yeah. All right, so there you go. But back on the subject at hand. Bitch, tip people. Come on, girl. What is wrong with you? Tip people. Out there working hard for you. Give them a tip. Oh, you can also tip the show. Yeah. Oh, I'm still working for tips. Look at me. I totally missed that out. You want to support the show, you can tip the show. Tip the show, please. That's how we do this show. This is how we're able to do 2 streams a day. We do this one at noon where we go through all the topics, and then we come back at 9 o'clock and we have a little bit more of a conversational hour or so with James Parker. That's the Pillow Talk version that comes out at 9 p.m. Central Time. This one here, Monday through Friday at noon. We just go through all of the topics. All right, so that's why tipping is trending today. There is an FBI alert. FBI alert is trending today. Let's see what this is all about. Well, I'll just tell you what it's about. The FBI believes that the Russians are about to attack the United States government with a cyber attack. Satellite comms network on alert after U.S. government warning. Security teams burning out more Conti leaks analysis, blah, 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 blah. Let's see here. In a joint security alert, the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, and the FBI, which is why FBI alert is trending, are strongly encourage critical infrastructure operators, along with SATCOM network providers and customers, to put in place a series of mitigation steps to shore up their networks. These include, and then I'm not going to, these are implementing additional monitoring and anomalous traffic ingress and egress points, etc. I'm not going to go through that. Given the current geopolitical situation, CISA's shields are up. And the Shields Up initiative requests that all organizations significantly lower their threshold for reporting and sharing indications of malicious cyber activity. The alert follows a cyber attack against satellite communications provider Viasat that began on the day Russia invaded the Ukraine. A move that apparently knocked out tens of thousands of KA. Okay, so Russia's gonna. I can't go into this. I don't. I can't pronounce half these words. The FBI is saying that maybe Netflix ain't going to work. Maybe you're going to have a little bit of problem with your Twitter. Maybe there's going to be some issues. They are waiting for what they believe to be a coming attack, cyber attack on United States infrastructure by the Russians. Nobody's going to die in that attack, but it's going to be real inconvenient, I imagine. All right. Eric Holcomb. Eric Holcomb is trending. Do you know who Eric Holcomb is? I don't. I didn't know who he was. But he's trending. Eric Holcomb is the governor of Indiana. He is trending. He is the conservative Republican governor of Indiana because it's Indiana. I mean, come on, man. What do you think you're going to be? He is trending because he has vetoed a transgender sports ban bill in his state. That's why I point out that he is a conservative Republican. And this bill in Indiana would have made it illegal, made it not a thing for transgender athletes to compete in different sports for genders that you were not biologically assigned at birth. Okay, so basically, this bill in Indiana was going to say that a guy who decides he's a girl cannot compete in girls' gymnastics. That's what the bill was going to say. And the conservative governor of Indiana said, nope. He vetoed it. He said, nope, we're not going to get into that. Now, it's interesting because I had never heard of Eric Holcomb, and he's taken all kinds of heat from the right, and he's taken all kinds of praise from the left because apparently you got to be one or the other. This is such a complicated issue. This isn't a right or a left issue. This is, well, unfortunately, it's been politicized to the point where it is a right or left issue. But this guy wants to be president. This governor of Indiana, there is no other reason, a guy I've never heard of, there is no other reason that I can think of other than this guy's thinking that maybe, I don't even know what he looks like. Does he look like, nope, never mind. He ain't going to be president. He's got a beard. He's got like a Colonel Sanders kind of beard and glasses. So he can't be president. Can't be president with a beard. That's just a rule. It's in the Constitution. Going against the growing trend of transgender sports bans in GOP-led states, Indiana's Republican Governor Eric Holcomb has vetoed a proposed law there. In a letter announcing his veto Monday, Holcomb said that the legislation, which would have prohibited transgender female athletes from participating in girl sports, falls short, he says. Holcomb said it was unclear if the procedure outlined in the bill would be applied consistently in schools across Indiana. Other states that enacted similar bans were facing lawsuits that, in some cases, stopped the bans from being enforced. Holcomb added that he was unconvinced by supporters' arguments that there is an existing problem in kindergarten through 12th grade sports in the state of Indiana that requires the government to get involved and that there is a lack of fairness in female sports. Now, that is a traditionally conservative point of view that he is taking. However, there really is no such thing as conservatives anymore because conservatives who were always about keeping the government out of things, less power to the government, which is what he's saying here. He's saying that he was unconvinced that it needed to be a government involved thing here, which is very conservative. Except, like I said, now that conservatives have power, they want the government to make these rules. It's like there's no anchor to any true ideology. It's just, we don't like these people. Let's make the government say these people are bad. Right. Okay. So you want it now, but anytime that it's any other issue, and let's say that it's a different party in charge, then suddenly it's about big government making these rules. It's so ridiculous. But this guy is adhering to truly conservative. He doesn't think that the state needs to be involved in this. This is his point. After thorough review, I find no evidence to support either claim, even if I support the overall goal, Holcomb said. Opponents of the legislation cheered Holcomb's veto, saying the proposed law would have discriminated against trans kids. This win wouldn't have been possible without the thousands of Hoosiers who voiced their strong opposition to state legislatures and who showed up at the State House to oppose this harmful bill, the ACLU of Indiana said in a tweet. All right, so let's see here. Other states that have done this, that have made it illegal for trans kids to do the sport they weren't born into. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. In March, Iowa became the 11th state to enact a transgender sports ban. And more Republican-led states eye laws forcing people to participate in sports based on their biological sex at birth. The others were the other states that banned this are, it's the usual suspects: Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Idaho, Mississippi, Montana, Tennessee, Texas, West Virginia, and South Dakota enacted a ban through an executive order. So a little different route that they took there. The trend isn't universal, though. Last year, North Dakota's Republican governor, Doug Burgum, vetoed a transgender sports ban, saying that there was no evidence of a lack of fairness in the state's schools. Banning transgender women from participating in sports, especially at the high school level, these are not based in scientific evidence, says Eric Villan. Okay, so whatever. There you go. The point is, you got a right-wing governor there in Indiana who's did something that's very liberal, very lefty. This is like a whole run of like trans stuff. Here we go. Texas is trending. So I clicked on it. I'm like, why is Texas trending? Because the Texas court, remember when Abbott said, hey, if you're a parent of a trans kid, we're going to investigate you and throw you in jail for making your kid trans, or whatever the hell this stupid law was. Texas court temporarily stops investigations of families of transgender kids, allowing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services to investigate gender-affirming care as child abuse would result in irreparable harm, a Texas appeals court has found. So remember when a couple weeks ago or so, maybe a month, Abbott put out this letter saying that if your kid is trans, we're going to try and figure out why. And it's probably because you're a bad parent, and they were going to investigate parents who were taking their trans kid to counseling for trans whatever. I don't know. Very complicated. But again, here we have the government getting involved where they shouldn't be. Big government, big conservative Republican government getting involved in the family business. But a court yesterday, on Monday, court yesterday here in Texas said, hey, Abbott, you can't do that. That's stupid. You're dumb. George Masvidal. Oh, God, this guy. Street Jesus. He's an MMA fighter. He's an MMA fighter who we last saw a couple weeks ago get his ass kicked by Colby Covington. He is trending today. UFC star George Masvidal surveys social media about biological women in sports. Here's all he did. I have been watching George Masvidal fight for 10, 15 years now. I'm very familiar with George Masvidal. He's not real smart. He's not. There are some guys who are in MMA who are very bright, and they're you hear him talk and you're like, oh wow, that guy's well read, that guy's well educated, that guy has interesting points of view on things. And then you have these people who are just cretins. And that's George Masvidal, in my estimation, has always been a bit of a cretin. So this is the whole Leah Thomas, the Pennsylvania swimmer, who was a guy swimmer last year, and now she's on the women's team, and she won the NCAA championship because, she's still like 6'4", and, George Masvidal tweeted, what sport is left that is still biologically girls versus biological girls? want to put my daughter in a sport that is still fair to her. So he tweeted that, and now George Masvidal is getting all kinds of, you suck, George Masvidal. I've talked about the Leah Thomas thing. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that Leah Thomas is the University of Pennsylvania swimmer who was on the men's team last year, and she's a middling competitor, scholarship athlete, good swimmer on the men's team. Not the best swimmer on the men's team, but good, somewhere in the middle to the upper middle of the pack, I believe it was described as. Well, she decided that she was going to transition, and Leah Thomas is now a woman, and she is competing on the women's team. And she's just blowing all the women out of the water. She won the NCAA championship for the 400 meters. And there was only her record time. It was 2 seconds off the pool record for the 400 meters. I mean, she just dusted all the other girls in the 400 meters. And her time was only the world record was better than her time. Women's world record was better than her time. Katie Ledecky, who is considered one of the greatest female American swimmers of all time, had a better time than her. And then somebody else, there was only a handful of people who had actually swam the 400 meters faster against women than this trans woman, Leah Thomas. And I don't know. I think that so when she was a male swimmer, she was just middle of the pack. But now she's a female swimmer, and she is setting records. She's in the top 5 all time in the 400 meters. That's troubling. And this isn't an anti-trans thing. This isn't me going. I mean, look, I've in discussing this, I've tried to be as respectful as possible. I'm referring to her as she. I said she's a woman. She's a trans woman. All that kind of stuff. I'm not like James Parker, the guy who comes on with me at night, who thinks it's funny to. Anyway, I don't really think it's funny, but I'm not concerned about her in this situation. I'm concerned about the girl who came in second. I'm concerned about the girl who came in second, who has trained her entire life, who has worked her butt off competing against other women, who's a foot shorter. We saw them on the podium. We saw Leah Thomas standing next to the girl who came in second and the girl who came in third. And she's a foot shorter. She's 6 inches, not as wide. There is a physical advantage that Leah Thomas has over every other woman that she's in the pool with. Her arms are longer, her shoulders are broader, she's faster, she's stronger, she can kick, she can swim. Yeah, and this isn't about accepting or not accepting trans people. This is about, let's table that and let's go over to the people who are not reaching goals that they've set for themselves their entire lives, because somebody who I think even the most open-minded person would say has a physical advantage is now being allowed to compete. So George Masvidal wants to know what sport his daughter can compete in. And I don't think this is why I prefaced the conversation with saying that George Masvidal is not a smart guy, but I kind of get it. I get it. How come, here's a question though. How come there are no women, trans men, because there's trans men. How come there are no trans men who are going from competing in women's sport to competing in men's sport? How come? Why aren't we seeing that? Why are we seeing trans women who had previously competed in women's sports now jumping in because they are trans? God love them. And now they're jumping in and they're competing against women when they used to compete against men. But we're not seeing it in the other direction. Doesn't that tell you something? Doesn't that? I think it's unfair. I I think the world is a very complicated place, and it doesn't make you a monster for feeling bad for the girl who came in second place, who would have been the national champion, but she's not because... Also, George Masvidal is trending alongside Colby Covington for another reason. Colby Covington and George Masvidal got into a screaming match in a fight outside of a steakhouse in Florida yesterday. We don't need to go into it. These are two cretins. Colby Covington and George Masvidal, they fought a couple of weeks ago. Colby Covington beat him thoroughly and went to a decision. He didn't finish him, but he beat him. It was obvious. He won every round, at least by... Actually, no, I think I gave George one round. But it was one-sided. Colby Covington beat him. And now here they are a couple of weeks later, and George Masvidal is... Apparently, he tweeted about his daughter, and then he raced down to a steakhouse where Colby Covington was and decided to do a whole Clubber Lang from Rocky 3. Yeah, stupid. And neither of these two people are likable. This is, I want to see that fight again. Really? Who are we rooting for? Who are you rooting for in the Colby Covington-George Masvidal fight? These people are both jerks. Colby Covington is a loudmouth, arrogant jerk. George Masvidal is a cretin. He's not loud because he has trouble putting words together. But he's when he does speak, he says stupid things. So there you go. Colby Covington is trending. George Masvidal is trending on his own because he made that statement about his daughter and wanting his daughter to have fair competition if she decides to compete in sports, which I totally understand. And Colby and George are trending together because of an incident at a steakhouse last night. Ben Stiller is trending. Ben Stiller is trending. Why? Because Ben Stiller is in talks to take over the role of, are you ready for this? Jack Torrance. You know who Jack Torrance is? Jack Torrance, The Shining. That's right. They are creating a Broadway play of The Shining. And this Broadway play of The Shining promises to be more faithful to the Stephen King vision of The Shining than what we're most all used to, which is the Stanley Kubrick film vision of The Shining. So there you go. Ben Stiller. This is another example of a comedian who's going to be doing some kind of drama because, as I said earlier today, comedians are far more talented than dramatic actors. Dramatic actors cannot just flip a switch and go and be funny, but funny people, many times we've seen examples of this, can flip a switch and be a tremendous dramatic actor. So there you go. Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller is going to take over the role of Jack Torrance in a stage adaptation of The Shining. This is a funny one. Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels. Stormy. Silly. This whole thing is silly. Stormy Daniels is trending because a court has, we'll frame it. I'll give it to you so you know exactly how it's being written. It's so crazy. Stormy Daniels must pay Donald Trump $300,000 for legal fees. Federal Appeals Court rules. Stormy Daniels owes former President Donald Trump $300,000 after a federal appeals court rejected the porn star's effort to overturn a lower court's ruling in her failed defamation lawsuit. All right. So here's how this plays out. So 2016, Stormy Daniels says, hey, that dude from the 80s who's running for president, he cheated on his wife with me. And then Michael Cohen, who was Donald Trump's lawyer at the time, and Donald Trump got together and they're like, let's pay her off. So they paid her $130,000 to keep quiet about it. So Stormy Daniels gets checked for $130,000. And then it leaks out. It leaks out that this happened, that there was an affair. And Trump starts saying all kinds of terrible things about Stormy. I did not have sex with that woman. Wrong president, dude. Okay, but same thing, same vibe. So Trump starts dragging Stormy Daniels' name all around, and she's got the check for 130. She's like, okay, but I'm gonna sue him now for a whole bunch of money because he's slandering me. So she sues him for slander, and she loses that court case. That one she loses. They side with Trump. And part of the ruling was that because she brought this frivolous slander lawsuit, she now has to pay for Trump's legal fees, which amounted to $300,000. So she got paid $130 and now has to pay him $300,000. And her lawyer, Michael Avenatti's in jail. All the lawyers went to jail. Michael Cohen went to jail for the payoff. For I don't know, there's some shady about it, didn't report it, something like that. I don't know. But Michael Cohen went to jail for the payoff of the $130,000. He was Trump's lawyer. Then you had Stormy Daniels' lawyer, Michael Avenatti, go to jail because he's a piece of trash. So he went to jail for a whole bunch of other things. And although she, for a short period of time, had $130,000, she now has to pay Trump $300,000, which means that she's got a $170,000 shortfall. This whole thing. This whole thing just blew back in her face. Wouldn't be the first time. Trump crowed about the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit's ruling on Monday night, once again denying that he had ever had an affair with the adult film actress. So, I mean, he's always said, I never had the affair with it, but he paid her off. Maybe that's a rich guy move, because we're seeing that with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones had the cheerleader situation where Rich Dalrymple, former director of communications, big high-ranking dude with the Dallas Cowboys, he snuck into the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders' locker room and took a bunch of pictures, and the Cowboy cheerleaders complained, and Jerry Jones said, okay, we're going to do an investigation. All right, we did our investigation. We found absolutely no wrongdoing, but here, ladies, here's $4 million. So no wrongdoing, but here, have $4 million. Donald Trump, same thing. She's saying that I had sex with her. I didn't give her $130,000 just to make her go away, but I didn't do anything. Trump crowed about the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals 9th District, a ruling on Monday, once again denying he ever had an affair with the adult film actress whose real name is Stephanie Clifford. The lawsuit was a purely political stunt that never should have been started or allowed to happen, and I'm pleased that my lawyers were able to bring it to a successful conclusion. After the court fully rejected her appeal, Trump said in a statement. By the way, he totally did. I mean, I totally believe that he had an affair with her. I totally believe it. I mean, you get the pictures of them together where she said that they had the affair. Whatever. All right. So, bad day for Stormy. By the way, Stormy Daniels has said in response, she says, I will go to jail before I pay a penny. Well, you probably will. You probably will. What else do we have here? No to rickets. No to rickets is trending. Well, I think that's something we could all get behind. Isn't rickets the pirate disease, or is that scurvy? What is rickets? Yeah. What is the difference between rickets, scurvy, and beriberi? Aren't those pirate diseases? I don't know. Oh, I see. It's the Ricketts family. That's what this is. The Ricketts family. No to rickets is trending. Why is no to rickets trending? They're the family. They own, I think, isn't like one of the Ricketts like a governor of some state or something? I don't know. One of the Ricketts is a governor. The family owns a whole bunch of things. Most notably, at least in this context, they own the Chicago Cubs. The Ricketts family owns the Chicago Cubs. And they are trying to buy, in addition to the Chicago Cubs, they're trying to buy Chelsea of the Premier League in England. Remember Roman Abramovich, the oligarch who owned Chelsea, was forced out of the league, and now Chelsea FC is up for sale. And this is a big team. This is a team based in London, so this is not like a Premier League team. This is not in like the Jacksonville of the Premier League. This is like in the New York City of the Premier League. So this is one of the big teams. And the Ricketts family are trying to buy Chelsea, and apparently people do not want the Ricketts family to buy Chelsea. But here's what look. Everybody knows me, knows that I am not a Chicago Cubs fan. Born and raised in Chicago. I am not a Cubs fan. I am a White Sox fan. I am a Chicago White Sox fan, as a matter of fact. I am a Cubs denier. I do not like anything about the Cubs. Cub fans irritate me. Everything about the cute little cuddly furry animal Chicago Cubs just bugs me. But man, might shock a lot of people here. Chelsea is like, some of these people are talking about in the No to Ricketts that, what do you want? The Chelsea to turn out like their other team, the Chicago Cubs? And I'm like, this is the family that brought a World Series title to the Cubs for the first time in over 100 years. Yeah, I mean, they're rich people and they're like kind of snooty and they kind of suck in all kinds of areas. But they built a team that won the World Series. The Cubs had been good for like a bunch of years under the Ricketts. After previous ownership for 100 years was unable to put a competitive team out there, the Ricketts come in and the Ricketts built a champion. Now, sure, in the last couple of years, they've started to deassemble the World Championship team of 2016 that they put together, and they're rebuilding. But they seem to be. I don't get why. I mean, lest you turn out like the Chicago Cubs. I'm like, what? My White Sox have been in a rebuild. Well, we've been out of the rebuild for 2 years now, and we're actually really good. Betting Line has us as the second or third best team in baseball this year. Power rankings have us, the early baseball power rankings have the White Sox at number 2, right behind the Dodgers. So, we're not rebuilding. But for years when we were rebuilding, we had to sit there as White Sox fans and watch the Cubs contend for a world championship every year for like 3 years. It drove me nuts. So, far be it for me to say anything about the Ricketts, but my God, why wouldn't Chelsea? The Ricketts seem to like to win. They seem to put money behind their team. What the Ricketts have done to Wrigleyville, which is the neighborhood where the Chicago Cubs play, they've turned it into like Disney World. They've turned it into this amazing tourist attraction. I mean, Wrigley Field alone was always a tourist attraction, but it was in kind of a rundown, older neighborhood. And not a dangerous neighborhood, but an older neighborhood. And then the Ricketts came in and they bought up all the houses and all the blocks around it. And now there's hotels and there's something like we have here in Dallas, Victory Plaza right there. It's beautiful. It is fantastic. Everything that the Ricketts seem to have done with the Cubs until they started trading away Javier Baez and Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo and all these people. But they're rebuilding, so they decided to rebuild. I don't know. I don't get it. No to the Ricketts. I don't know. What do I know? I don't know anything about Premier League football. I really don't. But I'm just telling you, it seems to me that there are worse owners that you could have than guys who brought a World Series championship to a team that hadn't even sniffed one in over 100 years. So there you go. All right, that's going to do it. That's going to be about it for today as far as the prepared stuff. Let's do this. Let's jump in and let's see if there's anything new that is trending, that has taken off since we started the show. Supreme Court is still trending. World Water Day. All right, this wasn't in our, we do what today is. It's National Diabetes Day, and it's National West Virginia Day, and it's National Belgium Crepe Day or whatever. It's apparently also World Water Day, highlighting the importance of fresh water and advocating for the sustainable management of resources. Disney walkout. Oh, this is new. Disney walkout. Hashtag Disney walkout is trending. LGBTQ people and allies employed by Walt Disney Company stage a walkout in protest of Florida's parental rights and education bill, dubbed by some as the Don't Say Gay bill. Okay. All right. Georgetown Day School. I hate when I see these things trending. What does this mean? It's trending in politics, so that means not a school shooting, so I won't hit on it. Lollapalooza is still trending. Zadarius Smith is trending. Apparently, the Minnesota Vikings have picked up Zadarius Smith. Critical race theory is trending. 1619 project is trending. We covered that. That was all under the whole don't tip. That was under the whole tip thing. Colby Covington is trending. We covered that. Amanda Bynes is trending. It was terminated Tuesday. Yay! Good for you, young lady. Now just go be a private citizen. Go be a private citizen and do your little design work, finish getting your degree or whatever. And get rid of that tattoo. I know you're trying to get the tattoo on your face taken off, but do that. Yeah. Actress Amanda Bynes' 9-year-long conservatorship was terminated Tuesday, 4 months after Britney Spears' high-profile conservatorship was abolished. What else do we have here? Mackenzie Scott. I don't know who's Mackenzie Scott. Oh, she's rich. She's super rich. And I don't know who she is. Mackenzie Scott has donated $436 million to Habitat for Humanity. Who's Mackenzie Scott? Who's she married to? Oh, it's terrible. Whoa, what? A woman's got to be married. Who's her dad? I don't know. Who is she? Mackenzie Scott donates largest sum yet. Mackenzie Scott has donated. I don't know who she is. I'm looking at her. I think I've seen her before. Who is she? Yeah, Adam is right. Come on, Pugs. If you're going to talk about something, you're right. You know what? I did a disservice by glancing over that. She did not say don't tip. She said something stupider, that tipping is a part of racist American history. I don't know. Who's Mackenzie Scott? Who's Mackenzie Scott? Do we know who she is? She's got $436 million. I hate to be that guy, but was she married to somebody or did she invent something? All right. I'm going to have to look this up. Was she like Jeff Bezos's Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, she is. She's Bezos's ex-wife. There you go. All right. Good for her. Good for her. How much is she getting a divorce? Billions, I'm guessing, because she just gave almost $500 million to Habitat for Humanity. Let's see here. As of November 2021, she has a net worth of $62.2 billion. Wow. Good for her. Oh, and you know what? Look, I felt bad. I was like, who's she married to? Oh, who's her father? Because there's no way she could have been. Yeah, I was right. She was married to Jeff Bezos. Yeah, you're just a misogynist. No, I'm not. I just don't remember her inventing water. I don't remember. I don't know her for starting up Uber or whatever. Sorry. Didn't mean to be a misogynist by suggesting that I didn't know who she was. She must have been married to a rich guy to be able to, because she's young. I'm looking at her. She's young. Well, she's not young, but she's not old. She's given $456. You know what? Mackenzie Scott, thank you. $456 million to Habitat for Humanity. She's got $62 billion. What? You got $62 billion. Why not? Why that number? Why 456? Why $456 million? You get $62 billion, Mackenzie. Make it a nice round $1 billion. But that's not, you're not even going to feel that. You are worth $62.5 billion. Look at me now. Not good enough. Give them an inch, they want a mile. Thank you for the $456 million donation. That's very nice. That is wonderful. Could have been more, but okay. Taco Tuesday is trending because it's Taco Tuesday. Zach Wilson is trending. Why is Zach Wilson trending? What's going on with Zach Wilson? Has he been traded? Everybody's trading everybody. Nope, no reason. No important reason. All right, that's going to do it. Let's jump into the chat room. Let's fight with you people in the chat room. I'll start from Bezos' ex-wife is Mackenzie Spot. Thank you, Adam, rightfully calling me out on getting the tipping thing, critical race theory lady wrong. Sorry. Byron makes me laugh. Hey, who says that alt-right dudes can't be funny? Byron's pretty funny. Byron. Adam. Yeah, I called out Adam for not being present. And look, you're not required to be here. It's just that I want each and every one of you to know that the regulars that hang out in the chat room during the show. I mean, there are a number of people who view the show in other ways, and they stream it and they don't play in the chat room. And I am just so grateful that you people who do come and play in the chat room every day are tend to be here every day. So when somebody goes missing, especially somebody who's a cornerstone of the chat room, such as Adam Reyna, I like to know where he is. Adam says, Friday, I forgot why I missed, but yesterday was the work day from hell. And then he said he took my kid to Chuck E. Cheese. That's why. That's fair. That's fair. You shouldn't be listening to this stupid show if you can be spending time with your kids. Okay, let's see here. Adam Ray says, allegedly cooking stuff in the microwave can kill some of the nutrients. He says allegedly. Cooking eggs in the microwave is just wrong. No, it's not, Leslie Collins. No, it is not. It is awesome. They are the best scrambled eggs I've ever had. Leslie Collins, if you are dirtying frying pans and it's taking you more than a minute and 30 seconds to get a mug of delicious scrambled eggs, you're doing it wrong. Stacy knows. Stacy knows. She says eggs in the microwave, super easy and good and zero grease. I love hard-boiled eggs, and I'll tell you, it used to be quite a project to make hard-boiled eggs. You got to get the big pan out. You got to wait for the water to boil on the stove top. Then you got to wait, and you got to look. No, here's what you do: you take a microwave-safe dish, you put a bunch of eggs in there, you fill up the water just over the top of the eggs. You sprinkle a little bit of salt in there. Salt is important. You got to put salt in there because that helps the eggs not explode. Because, if you just put an egg in there that wasn't in water, they'd explode. So you got to put salt in the water and then you put it in the microwave. I do it for 10 minutes, but maybe your microwave is stronger. Maybe you only need to do it for 6 minutes. I put the eggs in a bowl filled with water in the microwave for 10 minutes. Then I let it sit for a couple of minutes after it's done. Then I take those eggs out of the hot water and I put them in a second bowl of cold water. Boom! Leave them in there for a minute or two just to cool them so you can pick them up. And you have delicious hard-boiled eggs. What, 10 minutes? Typically it's like an hour process. You got to wait for the water to boil. 10 minutes, delicious hard-boiled eggs. Easy to peel too. Easy to peel. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I don't know if whether or not a hard-boiled egg is easy to peel has to do with the egg itself or the process by which it was hard-boiled. I don't know. I just know that the last batch that I made last night, really easy to peel. Really easy. And the fried egg on a microwave safe the poached egg. Are you kidding me? The poached egg was amazing. All right, so you know how you do a poached egg? I'll tell you how you do a poached egg. You take a microwave safe. Do you like the poached egg? Okay, so you take a microwave safe dish, right? And you crack an egg in there, like a fried egg, right? You crack an egg in there. Then you just fill it up with a little bit of water. You don't want to cover the entire egg with water. You just fill it up with a little bit of water. Put it in the microwave for 2 minutes. When it's done, you pop it out. You take a little scooper and you scoop the egg out of the water. And it's poached. It looks beautiful. It's like, it's so wonderful. And then you put it on a little napkin or something. You got to get the water off it. That's it. That is it. You have the easiest and most delicious poached egg. You want to make like an egg sandwich in the morning. Oh my God. Stacy knows. Stacy gets it. Let's see here. It's Bavarian Crepe Day. Jeff Glenn says I would love Bavarian crepes. Probably. I'm fat. I love everything. The arrogance of Adam Reyna. I guarantee you my eggs are better. Scrambled, your eggs are better. I happen to be very good at making eggs. And you know what, Adam? I'm older than you, so I've got a lot more practice and I've tried eggs. I bet you can't make an omelet like I can make an omelet. Haven't tried, you know what? I haven't tried an omelet in the microwave. My son loves my omelets. My omelets are crazy. They're crazy. They got everything. Sometimes we use marinara sauce on them. Sometimes we make up, we whip up a little like faux. I'm using the French word for hollandaise, like a faux hollandaise on it. Oh my God. I'll get into a cooking contest. I'm a pretty good cook. Everybody who knows me knows that I can cook. Here's what I can't do. I don't profess to be a barbecuer. I don't profess to be a guy who can do things on the grill. I can make a hamburger. I can cook a steak on a grill. That's pretty much it. But I am I'm getting the smoker out and I'm going to spend the next 10 hours. I don't do that. But if you give me a kitchen and you give me the ingredients, I can make some shit now. I can cook. How dare you? Adam guarantees. Adam, I guarantee you my eggs. Look at the arrogance, the needless provocation in that statement. Come on, Adam. Let me rephrase it the way a nice person would say it. Adam, I make eggs pretty good as well. There you go. That's it. Nothing more needs to be said. But Adam's got to go, I guarantee you my eggs are better than your fuckwad eggs. Over microwave eggs. Mine are better. He refuses to back down. This is the thing. People refuse to go, yeah, you know what? That was a little over aggressive. I probably could have worded that in a much more nicer way. But we don't choose that. We do not choose that. My response to him, my smackdown, my retort, could have chosen a more decent and kindly path. Fuck that! It's Adam. We've been going at it for 20 years now. It ain't gonna stop now. This is our brand. This is how we work together. What else? Is there anything else happening? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, William Shatner's birthday. I said I'm not a big fan of Star Wars. Actually, that sort of misrepresents my thing. Because when I say I'm not a big Star Trek, when I say that I'm not a big fan of Star Trek, that suggests that I've watched it and I've said I do not like what I've just seen. That's not true. I don't know Star Trek. I don't know from Star Trek. I don't watch it. And I never got into it. Maybe I am a fan. I just never, not even the movies. Actually, that's not true. A couple of years ago, didn't J.J. Abrams make like a Chris Pine starring Star Trek movie? And I saw that with my kid. And I like that. And I remember for a brief moment, I went, maybe I like Star Trek now. And then I moved on. And I don't know, got into other thing. Look at Adam. Adam says musicals are better than plays. Okay. It's his opinion. That's fine. My opinion is different, but that's fine. Byron, silver, nickels, and golden dimes. I don't know what that's in reference to. Hi, Dustin. It's always so nice to see Dustin here. Dustin remembers Vision Quest. It's Matthew Modine's birthday today. And I thought, what has Matthew Modine done other than Vision Quest? Vision Quest is awesome. Love that movie. Full Metal Jacket, Dustin. That's right. That is right. You would think as a Stanley Kubrick fanatic, Stanley Kubrick, I'm definitely a fan of. You would think that I would remember. Matthew Modine is the star of Full Metal Jacket. Oh my God. That is so great. Memphis Belle too, Ed says. I don't remember Memphis Belle. I mean, I remember what it's about. It's like a World War II plane movie, but I don't remember that he was in it. Matthew Modine was in Stranger Things. Adam says he's a well-respected improv guy and acts in a lot of stuff. He's not the auteur Justin Peele is, but he's not left behind. Oh, you're talking about Keegan Michael Peele. Yeah, he's been left in the dust by his A-list. He's not even A-list. I mean, Jordan Peele is like in the exalted realm of Hollywood right now. He's very important. And then like Michael Keegan Keel and I can't even. This is how I am a student of popular culture, and I can't even. And yes, he is. He is a very well respected improv guy. But you don't even know who Del Close is, right? That's the most respected improv guy, and nobody knows who he is. So, well, because he's been dead for 20 years. But you get my point. I am not saying that Jordan Peele's partner, whose name I can't even get out properly right now because he's so lesser of a star. I'm not saying that he's talentless. I am saying that Hollywood picked one of the Key and Peele people and made them important, and the other one is now showing up on episodes of the Goldbergs. That's all I'm saying. You want to argue that point? That's fine. One guy's called the next Hitchcock. The other guy is, playing a gym coach on the Goldbergs. Go ahead, but keep arguing, Adam. Keep arguing. We can go at this all day. Let me see here. Cutthroat Island. Byron says Cutthroat. I don't know what Cutthroat Island is. Oh, yes, I do. Cutthroat Island. Wasn't that who's the girl with the big mouth? Big mouth girl. Big mouth girl. Big mouth girl. Come on. Accidental Tourist. Big mouth girl. Gina Davis. Isn't that a Gina Davis movie? Cutthroat Island. Rob Barr says it took him 3 seasons to realize that it was Cole Hauser on Yellowstone. Cole Hauser is in some decent movies. Yeah, but nothing big. He was definite. Well, look, when they created Yellowstone, they had enough money to pay one guy a huge salary, and that went to Kevin Costner. The whole rest of that cast was people who were affordable. And my point is that Cole Hauser came from this very important Hollywood family. He's from the Warner family, the Warner brothers. Harry Warner was his grandpa or great grandpa, something like that. And he was affordable to do a TNT series that had given up 90% of their budget to lure Kevin Costner to star. But I'll tell you, he proved them all wrong because he's awesome. He is awesome. Cole Hauser is awesome. Dazed and Confused, Good Will Hunting, Too Fast, Too Furious, all classics. I'm guessing Adam is joking. Yeah. Walter Lance died today, and Adam points out that my whenever I want to denote that someone is a bit nuts, I do the that's Woody Woodpecker's laugh. JBM says that Rob Ford, who died on this day, was a crack smoker, but he was entertaining. Well, I imagine that from a distance, most crack smokers are entertaining to those of us who are not on crack. What's he going to do next? Let's watch. You think okay, yeah, that was got the temperature wrong. It's colder than I thought it was. April says it's going to be 77 on Saturday and 85 on Sunday. Woo! Lake Louisville trash days are on the horizon. Yes, that's right. I am proud lake trash these days. How can you be lake trash when you're on like a super expensive boat and it's got a whole bunch of... Well, because I behave trashily. I behave trashily when I use my friends' expensive toys. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I triggered Byron. When I went into the whole New World Order thing. He went on a run. Of like 10 comments in a row that I didn't see until now. Adam agrees with me that Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum surprised him in She's the Man. Yeah, she was. She's. I mean, look, I don't know the full width and breadth of Amanda Bynes' resume. I didn't watch the Nickelodeon show or Disney show or wherever the hell she came from, but in the few films that I've seen her in, I thought that she was good. And it was She's the Man who made me go, "This girl's funny. This girl is good. This girl can do." And again, I'll say Amanda Bynes was freed from her conservatorship today. She's 35 years old. She seems to be mentally in charge of her decisions now, which is a good thing because she wasn't for a while. She was this like Disney. She came from Disney, although I wasn't familiar with that. But she came out of Disney TV shows or Nickelodeon TV shows, whatever it was. The Hannah Montana type thing. And then she started getting film roles, and she was very good for a girl. You know who else is really good? Oh man, do you want to say it? Do you really want to? Do you want to give credit to this person? Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande. Am I even saying her name right? Is it Grand? I don't know. I don't listen to the music or anything, but I recently saw her in something where she was playing a character, and she was delightful. I was like, oh, she's kind of funny. That girl is kind of, she's obviously a beautiful young woman. And so that might be the first thing that people like, oh, she's hot. I'm like, yeah, okay, but what else she got? Ariana Grande was in something, and I think it was something that I was watching with my son, and he made me watch it. And I remember I'm watching it, and I go, oh, she's got some chops. She's got some comedy chops. That was funny. But yeah, so Amanda Bynes. It's like pretty women who are beautiful, women who are desirable have never been allowed by the system as it stands to show any other talent other than just sit there and be pretty. And when they do, I take notice of it. Deborah Messing is a great example. Okay, here I can run this down. Starting with Lucille Ball, who people don't really realize, she started out as like a sexy chorus girl. That was like what she was doing. They didn't let her do comedy, even though she wanted to do comedy. She was doing dramatic stuff, and she was very sexy, and she was beautiful. And then she showed that she's like one of the great comedic beautiful women of all time. Mary Tyler Moore was another one who did that. Mary Tyler Moore was this beautiful girl who was supposed to be arm candy for Dick Van Dyke. And then Carl Reiner went, holy cow, she's actually funny. We should let her be funny. And Mary Tyler Moore became funny. Two other ones that I'll give you. Deborah Messing. Deborah Messing is a very talented comedic actress. She can do comedy. I'm not even a fan of Will and Grace, but I have seen her do things on Will and Grace where I've went, oh, she's good. She's good. Another one, an unsung hero of this genre, an actress who doesn't really do anything anymore. I haven't seen her in 20 years. Her name was Tia Leone. Tia Leone was a tremendously funny comedic actress while also looking like a supermodel, which is kind of a weird thing. So there are some women who break that stereotype that a beautiful woman can't be funny. They can a good-looking guy be funny? If a good-looking guy can be funny, John Hamm is hysterical. Rob Lowe is hysterical. There has never been a problem. Cary Grant was hysterical. Don't get me started. Apparently, throughout history, if you were a good-looking man, you could also be really funny. Didn't work for women that way. But it is now. Let's see. All right, let's keep going. Sally, Mama Beller says there are huge controversies over art prices. Artists and art dealers have for years had this problem. Who dictates the price of worth of art? Yeah, we were talking about the Andy Warhol Marilyn Monroe picture, which is going to go up for auction in a couple of months. They're expecting $200 million. $200 million for Andy Warhol's Marilyn Monroe picture. So who determines what a piece of art is worth? The market. The people who have a lot of money, and how much are they willing to throw at something, right? I mean, it's like baseball cards. Why is if there's even such a thing as a Babe Ruth rookie card, I don't know. But if a Babe Ruth rookie card, who determines how much that's worth? The market. People with disposable income who are willing to throw this much at that so that they can be cool in front of their friends. That's 100% what it's about. Whoever spends $200 million on the Marilyn Monroe Warhol painting is doing it for one reason, to hang it in their house. They're not going to hide it in a closet. They're going to hang it somewhere so that when people come over, they can be like, whoa. It's all about, for lack of a better term, dick measuring. Rich guy dick measuring. Meanwhile, Mackenzie Scott gave $500 million today to Habitat for Humanity. No dick measuring going on there. Byron is an avid golfer. I don't like golf. Adam Reyna says 1619 Project is not critical race theory. Tell that to Byron. Tell that to Byron. Whether or not I agree with you, you tell it to Byron. No, Adam, you're wrong. Tipping did not start with the Pullman carriers in the 1870s. That's one of the historical things that she got wrong. Tipping has been around in the United States since before the Revolutionary War. Tipping was a way to... I don't want to get into it. But yes. Okay, so here's what I will say about the so-called 1619 Project. A lot of the stuff that she offered up in it is historically inaccurate. But she offered it in there to make her case. I'm not saying that I'm for or against it. I believe that our children in American public schools should be taught the full width and breadth of the American experience. They should be taught about the things that we did that were terrible, because the United States of America has done a lot of terrible things. And if you don't teach the upcoming generations about all the things that we fucked up, they're going to fuck it up again. Okay, so that's just smart. Racism in this country is a thing. It exists. It is absolutely a thing, and it needs to be taught. Now, does it need to be taught that white people are bad and black people are angels? No, of course not. And that isn't being taught anywhere except in the most extreme cases. So the argument that critical race theory is going to brainwash white kids into hating being white is nonsense, but it's a scare tactic. And when you're a simple-minded individual, you are easily manipulated by scare tactics. So that's all that is about. Are there problems with what she wrote concerning the 1619 Project? Absolutely. There are problems with it. Does it mean all of the evil things that it has been framed as being representative of? No, it does not. This is politics, and stop arguing for the far left or the far right. Come to the middle and look at these things with an open mind. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's all for me tonight. Hope you've enjoyed my TED Talk. Adam, what are you talking about? I'm sorry. She's also great in the Teen Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs take comedy. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I was ranting about critical race theory and how that's just a ridiculous manipulation of pudding heads. I mean, let's go back into it for a second. Should the kids know that? No, don't go into it. Don't go. Okay, I'm not going to go into it. As a matter of fact, we're going to be done. Because, you got me. No, I'm kidding. I love you guys. I live for this shit, and I hope you do as well. I hope that we can all have fun here. Let's close out the show. I'll be back at 9:00 tonight for Pillow Talk. Last night's Pillow Talk, I don't know if it was fun. I found it fascinating. Sometimes we do Pillow Talk just so that I can talk to James about something I want to talk about. And I hope that occasionally you find our conversations interesting. That's kind of the whole idea behind Pillow Talk. This is more like me going through a whole bunch of things that other people are talking about, and then us in the chat room talking it up. It's all about. Oh, Amanda Bynes. He was talking about Amanda Bynes. Okay. last night after James and I did our special show, we did a special pillow talk because I had fallen into a YouTube hole over the weekend looking for old Chris Hansen, Dateline NBC, To Catch a Predator clips. And I found this whole new genre of like citizen amateur predator hunters, and they're incredible. They're incredible. And we just spent last night's pillow talk just watching these people, heroes, these real life Avengers, taking down all these pedophiles. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe there are so many among us. So after the show ended yesterday, there was a bunch that we didn't get to. Like there was a bunch of stuff that I was going to show that James and I were going to watch together that I didn't get to. And so after the show, I spent another hour watching a whole bunch. Let me see. I bet you there's a live takedown going on right now. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if we've got a live pedophile takedown going on somewhere. They stream it live. Oh. What is this? This is live now. Hold on. Is this a live takedown? Well, let's see.
I don't know if you know who Lincoln Park is.
I do. Chester Bennington, one of my favorite bands. Yeah.
That is what I want.
What's your favorite song by them? I like Burn It Down.
I like Heavy and this one.
There is a live pedophile takedown going on right now on YouTube.
Messed up in the head. No. He never wanted to get the help, and then he took the suicide bullet. He killed himself.
All right, I'm guessing this guy is the pedo. How long has this been streaming? All right, whatever. This is like a really dark kind. It's not. I don't know that it's dark. It's fascinating. It is fascinating. These. Oh God, it is. It's dark. The overarching or arcing, I guess we should say, premise that there are this many deranged child abusing monsters out there is terrible. But seeing them get caught, seeing them be absolutely humiliated is also very satisfying. So I don't know. I'll have to stop watching these things. But yeah, right now, Byron, if you're interested, the channel that is streaming a takedown right now live is ya boy, ya YA hyphen boy, ya boy, JDQ on YouTube. Ya boy, JDQ on YouTube is currently doing a takedown of a dude who obviously looks like all pedophiles look the same. All of these child predators look the same. Ya boy. There you go. Yeah. Ya boy JDQ. Hold on. Let me know when you pull it up, Byron. We'll watch it together. Yeah, we should go in the chat room, Byron. You and me. We should go in the chat room and start ruining people. Well, no, I can't. I gotta go to the store. Ugh. Well, let's see what's happening here. You're in. All right, Byron's in.
So, you just found her cute and attractive, and then that's why you want to be her boyfriend? Say again? Okay. So, Craig, no matter what the situation is...
Like, every time I'm a nice person. I help a lot of people. And when I help people turn it. I just had one of my friends died a year ago of cancer.
Oh! Bingo! Hey, remember, there are, okay, sob story is one of the choices for pedophile bingo. I created this game last night. And maybe we'll keep streaming. We can do a reaction to it. If you guys all want to watch it, I just don't want to put it up. I don't want to put it up because it's stealing their signal and all that kind of stuff. But remember, here is what we're looking for in pedo bingo. Ready? Okay. So hold on. The pedo is claiming to be a good person who helps a lot of people. Pedo bingo. Anytime the perpetrator references his church or his pastor about how he's very active in his church, that could be that's a square in pedo bingo. Anytime the pedo blames the kid for being on the app, that is a part of pedo bingo. Anytime they say that they weren't actually going to go through with it, they showed up to meet the kid, but they weren't actually going to go through with it. That's pedo bingo. Anytime that they claim that they were just trying to save the kid from other more dangerous pedophiles, that's pedo bingo. Anytime that they say they've never done this before, that's pedo bingo. And a sob story. We just got a sob story. He just talked about how rough things have been. Blaming the kid. Oh, yeah, Stevie Ray. They always blame the kid. The pedos they blame the kid almost first. Like the first thing they say is, well, they shouldn't have been on the app because you have to be 18 to be on the app. And then the pedo hunter will always go, well, yeah, but they told you right away that they were 13, and that's when you continued to talk sexy with them. So what do you mean, blame the kid?
No, they're just for safety. But anyway.
All right, everybody's not interested in this. You can go, but if you want to watch this, let's watch this. It's ya boy, YA dash boy, YA boy JDQ on YouTube. We're watching a live takedown of a pedophile.
But
I mean, like, why would a 13-year-old send you that picture?
Yeah, no.
He's blaming the victim. He just showed a picture that he was sent, and he said, why would a 13-year-old send that picture? Blaming the victim.
Yeah, no, and you know,
like I feel like the other day she says, you know, these questions, what the fuck are you stalking me now? And last night I told her to leave me the fuck alone.
Right.
So I even texted her. She called me like 4 o'clock in the morning last night. She's like, oh, well, can you make love? I'm like, fuck you, click.
No, I think
it's getting to the point where I have told her message. Like,
he's claiming that he was
told me 3 times.
Wow.
Baited into
I think
this.
It takes 2 to tango, okay?
So I don't know if she's calling me or her parents.
Yeah, no, it takes 2 to tango, and you know, none of you guys are at fault. I'm just going over what actually happened, okay? So look,
and like every day she's telling me to meet her in.
Okay.
She'll tell you where she lives. She told me.
Was it a park, I think?
All right, you know what? I won't have the sound on because if you guys are all watching it, Byron, you're absolutely right. All of these guys do look the same. Oh, there's a terrible drag. There's like a terrible... There's a delay. So I'm seeing things before you got... No, wait a second. We should be synced up because if you're watching... Oh, I don't know. All right. I'm confused. April, don't laugh at me. I'm confused.
No. Are you really? She told me she didn't even think. I only found out.
These guys, they come up with these excuses like to try and frame themselves like they're a good guy when, you know, we're all sitting here at home watching them going, you're meeting a 12-year-old, dude. You are trying to hook up sexually with a child, you creep. Yeah, I don't know either, Steven. Steven's like, you're seeing it ahead of me. All right, this ain't going to work. At any rate, I'm going to continue watching it, so you guys continue watching it as well. I got to do stuff today. I got to do stuff. I have something I need to write. And then I got to write at least, I got to write at least 10 bios today. And then I got to go to the store. Oh, my God. All right. Yeah, Jeff, I don't know what that is on his shoulder. He does. He's got something like a sweat rag or a do-rag. He got something. All right, for those of you who are watching this character, imagine this guy. And look, I'm certainly I'm no prize pig myself, you know. But here's what I do know. I do know that there is not a 12-year-old girl on the planet, or boy, depending on your orientation. I know that there is not a 12-year-old girl on the planet who would look at me and go, "You're kind of cute." How delusional are these people that this dude thinks that a girl who sees, a Korean boy band member as like the height of being sexy? How does this guy convince himself that this girl is going to be into him? I don't get it. I don't. Delusional pugs, come on. Delusions are the least of this guy's bag of hang-ups. Yeah, it's true. By the way, want to hear something funny? I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. I can say this. This is harmless. My son, who's 12 years old, whenever he tells me about a situation that has happened with one of his buddies, he's always got like a qualifier for his buddy. He's like, "Oh, this is the one who can't ride a bike." Like, "Hey, so Bobby, the one who can't ride a bike." He's got like all, "Hey, well, he's got this new one. He's got a friend who's a really close friend of his, but his friend is Filipino, and this is how he describes his friend. So Luke said, and Luke's the Filipino kid who pretends to be South Korean because all the girls are into South Koreans." Like, okay, all right. I know I'm biased, but my 12-year-old son is hysterical. He's so funny. Yeah, the one who can't ride a bike. No, I didn't know you had a friend who can't ride a bike. Cops are here. Cops are here. Let's see how this goes down. Cops are here. I'm going to stick around for the cops.
Who are you guys? We're the group called Predator Poachers. I call it. There's lots of information from you guys, okay? Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, this voyeuristic. This is addictive, watching this stuff. And don't these guys, if you were so inclined, if you were like a twisted pedophile guy, wouldn't you know? I just found out about this stuff this weekend, and apparently I'm way behind the curve because there are dozens and dozens of these amateur predator hunter groups that are out there. And they've got hundreds and hundreds of busts. They just crap tons of people. So obviously this has been going on for a while, and I'm just now becoming aware of it. But if I were like a pedo weirdo, if I was like one of the, wouldn't I be aware that there's a really good chance that the person, although as James Parker said yesterday, a lot of these people are so broken and so damaged that maybe they don't take obvious clues the way, maybe, so weird. Your boy PDQ, by the way, he's a big dude. He is a big dude. If you were going to be a pedo hunter, you'd have to be a big dude. Because although Courtney, Eliza X Beth, who is another girl who goes out there, she's just a little girl. She's just a young girl. She's probably in her early 20s. But she's got, I think she's got security with her. And then the Protect the Innocent is another group that I really like, and that's led by a girl. But I know that she's got security because I've caught glimpses of her security. She goes out with big dudes. All right, the pedo appears to be being interviewed right now by a plainclothes detective. How fun would this be? I'm sitting here doing current events talk on a live stream, and then there are these people also doing live streams, and they're actually making the world a better place. I'm doing nothing but feeding my stupid ego. Which, by the way, you can help continue to support with a tip. You can tip the show, help the show. We're at the end of the month. Help out any way you can. Appreciate it.
What's up, PP Kanesha?
All right. I got stuff I gotta do. We're coming up on 3 hours. What are you kidding me? All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to continue watching this for a few minutes. Then I got to go run. I got to do stuff. I can't be spending the amount of time that I have dedicated to watching these takedowns the last couple of days, no matter how satisfying they are, no matter how good they make me feel, that there are actually people out there doing this. And I fully understand that this is about clicks and likes and getting views but so what? This is like benevolent clickbaiting, right? I always say I'm a big fan of benevolent capitalism. Benevolent capitalism to me is you can make as much money as you want. And it would be an even better thing if the way you're making money actually makes the world a better place. Like, benevolent capitalism. I've figured out a way how to get rich by building water wells in Africa for people. That would be an example of benevolent capitalism. This is benevolent clickbaiting. I don't like people who are just out there doing clickbait bullshit. But at least if you're going to do clickbait bullshit, at least you're doing something good. This is good. This is worth the clicks. Everybody wins. Jeff Glenn, he's on. Hey, who's going to be on Team Pred Catcher? We got to come up with a good name. Guys, I'm not a young man anymore, and I'm guessing that many of you aren't either, but I used to have an alter ego back in my younger days. I was Dallas's proudest superhero. Well, pedestrian superhero. I was the Midnight Dog Walker. I used to go out in the middle of the night with my dog and report crimes and, all of that kind of stuff. I would not be opposed to creating a strike force of like, guys, like we could try this. I would like to try this. I would like to try just one as an experiment, as a social experiment. Watch, we all get killed. Everybody gets killed. There was a mass shooting in the Galleria today on the ice rink. Something go terribly wrong because we don't know what we're doing. I would totally do this. Who wants to be on my strike? I know Byron's in. I know Jeff Glenn. As soon as he can walk, Jeff Glenn's going to be in. We have to get some people. You know what? We got to get some big people. Got to get some like scary people. I don't know. Byron, I'm not sure if you're scary. Jeff, you're not scary. Jeff's about as scary as I am. We're not scary. We need scary people. All right. That's it. Even if it's just scary people to come and just hang out with us. I used to know scary people in this town. I just don't know scary people anymore. All right, everybody. See you later. See you tonight at 9 o'clock. Be well. Tip the show. Help the show. Do whatever you can. Love you. I'm gone.